Okay, guys, sorry. Was having a little bit of an issue getting the stream to start, but I think we're good now. I was getting a ton of stream errors, but it looks like we're okay now, I believe. So we're going to keep our fingers crossed and hope this all works. So I do apologize. I am 8 minutes late. Yeah, to I gotta say, not that I wasn't trying, but we definitely had a little bit of a hiccup getting things started. I had a bunch of error messages over here on both YouTube and Twitch. Hey, what's going on, JT? How we doing, man? Give me 1 minute to make sure things are all situated, and then we will get things started. Like I said, I just had to do a quick checkup on the stream to make sure we're good. Let me just see. Okay, I'm right here. Okay, good. Just wanted to make sure things were going. I was getting tons of errors. Every error message you could get. So I think we're okay. um, so yeah, what's up? Yeah, I'm here. I'm here, and damn it, it's thought we were gonna go with no errors today, but man, things were just not doing what I wanted to today. So yeah, we're back. Episode God 17, Caffeinated Collector. So we've been going for a while now. Um, Today we do have some stuff to talk about, little things to chit chat about. We've got some figures to go over, got a couple statues to go over, and definitely some stuff to talk about in both the gaming and the anime side of things. So, of course, we have the Crunchyroll Anime Awards happen. We'll talk about those later on in the show. And some bad news for some TV, maybe some good news, and some bad news for some gaming studios and some gamers. That dozens that actually play, Destiny still. But yeah, we'll talk about a little bit of that later on. Obviously, this week was My Hero Academia week here on the channel. I'm repping, of course, my girl Toga. And yeah, I did just a bunch of figures basically highlighting, as I said in the intro here, one of my favorite anime of probably the last decade. So I think My Hero has been one of the better anime of the last decade. I think over time it's going to be one of the anime that people look back on. One of those ones that's gonna survive and kind of stand the test of time and go down as one of those goats in people's list of anime. And it's also gonna have a lot of negative stuff going on to it, much like Sword Art Online. But thing with the thing with My Hero is the negative part of My Hero is usually the fandom and not the actual content. So it's more of the people that are shipping and all the cringy stuff like that. But yeah, so like I said, we're gonna talk about quite a few things today. So just I guess again, just making sure we're good over here, making sure we're all situated. What's up to everyone over on Twitch? What's going on, everyone over on YouTube? Obviously, I've been playing up with multi-streaming and stuff like that. So it could have been what caused my little kerfuffle earlier today. Yeah, earlier in the stream. But uh but yeah, we got quite a bit of stuff to talk about today. And because I was trying to set things up, I do have my coffee. I got to grab real quick. So while people are rolling in, I do have to grab my caffeine. So just so you guys know, I will be back in 1 second. I just got to grab my coffee. So bear with me. I could smell it. I could smell it, and I need to have it. So be right back. 1 minute. Bro, I just teleported. That was crazy. Come on. You gotta admit, that was quick. All right. All right. Whew. All right, I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. I got my coffee. It's ready to go. Hopefully, I put enough creamer in it. But if I didn't, well, too bad. I'll deal with it. What's that say right there? Why is my getting a little chat delay? Hold on a minute. Damn, bro, you were late again. Damn it. Yo, man, you're lucky I know you. You're lucky. You're lucky. Yeah. I was a couple minutes late. So yeah, sue me, guys. But yeah. So what we're gonna do, obviously, today is we're gonna go over My Hero Academia figures that I covered all last week because I decided to make a themed week and do a My Hero Academia themed week. So again, like I said, I love the series. I think it has been consistently one of the better, if not best, of the modern anime series out there. Again, with the consistency, with the characterization, with the story, with the themes and things like that. And my chair is squeaking. Damn it, man. Um, so I really do think it is going to be one of those series that people are going to come back to down the line, and they're going to keep coming back to it because it is one of those it's not only just one of those season series that does again consistently kind of have it and just stick with it the whole series, um but it does have a lot of good messages, and that's the thing. It has things that modern media doesn't really have enough of anymore, at least in Western media. We don't have enough heroism. We don't have enough of the hero's journey. You look at everything in the Western media now, in our Americanized media, and it's the downtrodden hero. It's the deconstruction of the hero. It's the this guy is just he's the reluctant hero. I don't really care about any of this. He's the dark, edgy kind of character. That's what Western and American kind of media has depicted heroes as. I mean, look at all the more popular superhero things that we have now, like The Boys, which is just a circle jerk of its own self. It's not even nearly as good as the actual source material. So, but it's like it's just we get these constant things of just deconstructing a hero or being an anti-hero because we think it's edgy, and My Hero still has that. It harkens back to those original OG comic books where it's like it has the spunky, the peppy, the kind of hopeful, bright-eyed hero hopefuls, and their journey, and it does it to me it harkens back to Spider-Man and things like that. Do I have another haul? I I have a couple of hauls actually. Um, I do have a couple of hauls to do. My work schedule did get changed, so I will be off tomorrow. So tomorrow is going to be streaming and filming just all day because I don't have the kiddo tomorrow either. So shout out to the Gigi Monstar. Shout out to my daughter. It's her 13th birthday today. She's with mom today. But yeah, we had a fun weekend, me and her. So yeah, shout out to her. It's her 13th birthday. She's getting old, man. I'm getting old. Ready for another one. Let's go. um, but yeah, we originally we were gonna do this stream yesterday. We are gonna do a daddy daughter episode, but logistics kind of didn't really work out. So we'll probably have her guesting on once school gets out. She'll be doing some of these streams with me as well. But yeah, I might have some things. I got some things. I'll do a little bit of a live physical media haul today. but I can give a little bit of spoilers. There's some big stuff that arrived yesterday, late last night, or at around 10 p.m. I got some big stuff, and I'll be doing a little short video for that. Maybe I can do a little bit of spoilers. We'll see. But I do have a massive big bad toy store order that's still sitting over there that has to get ripped through. So we got some stuff. We got some stuff, but um. I'll do a little bit of boring stuff real quick. I did do again some page updates here on the channel. We did actually I did actually do two videos last week. Happy. Go me. I did a two My Hero Academia unboxings for My Hero Academia week. I did one that didn't really do very well and one that did better than I thought. So Red Riot didn't really get much love here on the channel in his Ichiban Kuji from the Next Generation Hero series. Definitely didn't do what I thought he was going to do. Normally, people love Red Riot, but he didn't really get much love this week. And I did a prize figure face off of two of the animal themed heroes in My Hero. So obviously we had a prize figure face off of Froppy versus Mirko. So I will bring those out a little bit later. They're over here. I'm going to do a little size comparison for you guys to show just how amazing these glitter and glamours figures are size wise, you know. So so yeah, we'll get a little bit into that. But yeah, hopefully everyone's doing all right. Like I said, I'm just checking real quick to make sure we are good and not getting any more errors here because that was really weird today to start up my stream like that. But it looks like we are good. So, let's see. New line of Overlord Ichiban. July is the new Reze. I do actually have all of the new Chainsaw Man Reze, but in America, we're not getting them until I think November, which is just a rehash, which I'm a little pissed off about, of the Denji and Beam that I reviewed. And in my review, I said, "Man, I wish it would be a bloody version. I wish it would have blood all over it. That would just make it." And what the hell do they do? They jack up the price by another $30 and they put the goddamn blood splatter on Denji and Beam. And they did exactly what I said. And it pisses me off because now I gotta rebuy the new version. Yeah, so I'm a little butthurt about that one. Okay, I'm a little butthurt about this new Chainsaw Man Kuji. All right. Um, the Reze figure looks really cool. She's in like the shirt, holding the flower. I like that. I think it's cool. It's definitely a different take, different look for the character. I like it. And then there's the little kind of duo bust of her and Denji. As much as I'm not really into like the buying the bust, I had to get it because it looks really good. So I did lock in some pre-orders on a couple of different places. I did not, however, lock in pre-orders on Big Bad Toy Store because I do not like their new pre-order policies anymore. Uh, Basically, they are now making you pay a non-refundable deposit if you're doing Ichiban figures or anything like that. Anything that's not a basic prize figure, you now have to pay a non-refundable deposit. And so for me, that's checking me out with them. And I think once my existing pre-orders kind of phase through with them, I am going to shift elsewhere. Sadly, I've been a huge, you know, fan of Big Bad Toy Store, but all it takes is kind of one thing to just piss you off and kind of X you out of it. And I hate saying it, but I spend way too much money every year with that company to have money locked up in a non-refundable way that if I find it somewhere else sooner, uh, I'm screwed. So I don't like that. but I still give them credit because they do a lot of things for pre-orders that they don't charge you up front. That was one of the things I loved the most about it. They didn't charge you up front, and sometimes they would not get the merchandise. They would oversell it, whatever. But most of the time they were all right. No, I didn't get those ones. The only ones I still have on pre-order are the not the one with Gobta. I have the regular Rimuru, and then I have the Millen that goes with him. So I didn't get the Gobta one. The Gobta one's the last prize, so I'd have to import that one from Japan. I do actually have an Erie coming. I did not realize it even was a thing. I have a Masterlize Aerie coming from My Hero, as well as the child versions of Toga and Aravity, where she's offering her blood, and the child version of the Todoroki kids. I do have those coming. They're gonna be a while. They're coming from Japan, so seller I deal with in Japan actually had some of them, and I said, "Well, what can you cut me for a deal?" So we kind of made a little bundle offer, and he hooked me up. So, but yeah, I don't know how I feel about the new Overlord line yet. I don't know. I don't really spend a lot of money on Overlord stuff. I'll get like the bunny girls and stuff like that, but as far as really expensive stuff, I'm not big enough of an Overlord fan because I feel like Overlord is one of those isekai that doesn't know where it's going half the time and kind of loses itself, and it spins the wheels but doesn't usually ever go anywhere. I know I've said that before, but I think it is one of those ones that I can watch a whole season of Overlord and go, so what happened? what what progress have we made this season? Like what have we done? And it just seems a lot of wheel spinning, and we're off on a side quest and we're doing this. So yeah, Overlord isn't really one of the ones that I do a lot with. I won't go above and beyond to buy stuff from that. Like I did buy the massive freeing Albedo bunny just because that was when I was in my freeing bunny girl obsession phase that I've since gone out of. But yeah, I bought her. I'm trying to look on my shelf. I've got her by Cute Bunny. You know, I've got her Pop Up Parade. I've got a couple of other Albedo things, but I'm not quite as invested in Overlord as I am with other isekai like ReZero and Reincarnate as a Slime and stuff like that. So yeah, can I share Instagram links on it? I don't know. I think it blocks all the links. I think it blocks links because we were getting so many adult content bot links, spamming in chat. So I think all the links might be turned off. But we were going through a bunch of the figures that I do have here, and dude, I haven't unboxed enough of these yet. So I got to start getting and grinding, getting some of these opened up for you guys to check out. But um let's go into some of the figures now. We kind of got all the intro, we got all the boring stuff out of the way. Let's get into some stuff. Let's get into some actual stuff, like some actual content, because I feel like when we drag on a little bit too long, we start to lose people. So I don't want to lose people. We'll keep some people in today. So obviously, like I said, this was a My Hero Academia themed week. I went in all in on My Hero because, as I said, My Hero is one of my favorite series that I've had in recent years. Probably it's gonna be, like I said, it's gonna be that one I just continually rewatch. So we went in and we did My Hero Week, and you know what? I did not plug in my Stream Deck. That's what's missing off my desk. I was like, what is missing here? And you know what? It's my Stream Deck. Let me grab my Stream Deck because it is right here. I'm looking and I'm going, what is empty on my desk right now? I gotta plug this in. Give me one moment just to shoot it behind my laptop real quick. I knew I was missing something, man. I knew it. I couldn't. I was trying to rush so much today to get this done. Man, I rushed too fast. All right, we're good. We're good. My deck's my deck's all linked up. We're ready to go. All right. But yeah, if you have a post you want me to take a look at, just like put like a space or something in the chat so I can kind of see it, and I'll take a look at it and see what he got. Or if there's like a certain thing you want me to check out, just tell me the Instagram and I'll take a look at it. But yeah, so we started off the My Hero week. We went I went with a little bit of obscure stuff, some things that weren't as popular, But this week, obviously, I started the week strong, and of course, it was these boys over here, the Child Deku and Child Bakugo from another of the Ichiban Kuji series. And man, these guys came out so awesome. They were the first of what I dub Baby Deku, Baby Bakugo, in the series. And dude, they came out so freaking good. I'm gonna lower this chat window a little bit, but I absolutely adore these. I think they came out so phenomenal. It's just a shame the All Might that came with them wasn't really as good. He was a little bit of a leaner, scale wise. He wasn't really that big. It wasn't that impressive. A little bit of a spoiler. I kind of do have the bigger version of him now. Um, all right, I'll check them out. Is there a certain thing you want me to check out from them? I'll check it out after we talk about these guys a little bit. But but yeah, these were the first of the child series, right? Where we saw them as kids in the My Hero universe. And man, I'll tell you, these were really cheap when they first came out, especially for Kuji figures, because they sold them separately. And I think at launch, these were only like 19.99 a piece. They were very cheap, but it's because they're small, right? So now, if you're looking at getting these, you're looking at about $100 a pop. So they blew up in popularity pretty freaking hard, as well as the next two that came after them. So we had another Deku Bakugo where they're together and they're holding their cards up and they're all excited. And the more recent one, which I did just get myself, where we got kind of a pissed off Bakugo storming and a kind of timid looking Deku walking behind him. So they have, excuse me, since gone and created other childlike MHA figures, and they've been all selling out. They've been doing very, very well because of course we love seeing the different variations of all these characters and how they've grown. I know there's another new version of Child Deku. It's him sitting in the computer chair in front of the computer screen, and that's another new Ichiban figure. So there is a lot of anime merch coming out, and man, it's to a point where it's getting hard to keep up. So I do recommend these two if you can get them, but do I recommend paying the exorbitant prices? Um, I don't think so. I can't say to do it for scalper prices or reseller prices. Damn, those are real expensive. Yeah, did you look them up, dude? They are they cost some money. Let's see. I'm just looking them up right now myself. Let's see. Do we have a link for them? I'm just looking to see what they do cost now because man, they have skyrocketed. But yeah, we're looking at I think yeah, $100+ a pop. That's crazy. So those things used to only be about, holy crap, yeah, $219 is one of the cheapest lots. And then the next one, which was the one of them with their cards, 165 bucks has already gone up to. And even the newer one, the Plus Ultra series of the Deku Bakugo, the Angry one, has gone up to $120 already. So these things, man, these things go up quick. And I don't know, man. I don't know if there were just very low prints of these or if just no one really expected how popular they would be. But dude, those things are insanely priced. It is crazy how high their prices are right now. But I can show this one off right here. Let's see. So this is actually the other one that I have right here. I'll show this real quick. This is obviously the Master Allies Extra Continuous Star Prize. So this has got Deku and Bakugo kind of with their little All Might cards cheering, and kind of being all happy. I don't know why my chat's not popping up there. I'll have to fix that after. But there is also another version as well, which is the do we have it here somewhere? I know it's the newer one, and it looks like Bakugo is kind of just pissed off, angry. And they have another new set coming out as well, which are all like individual figures of everyone kind of doing their thing. But dude, the kid versions are really, really blowing up. So I don't know. Their resale and everything else has gone through the damn roof. It's pretty crazy and impressive, I guess, at the same time. So, uh, yeah, that's pretty much those ones. But we followed up. Funny enough, we followed up the Deku Bakugo with one of the most hated characters in My Hero Academia. And just by those words, you know who the hell I'm talking about. You know, it's the annoying little pervert diaper baby that everyone wants to punt across the damn room. It's our boy, Grape Juice, aka Pervy Mineta. And this is the only figure I have of him. It's just because I need a figure of him, man. It's one of the only ones they make of him too. Wait, actually, no, I lied. I have his World Coliseum figure, his little tiny, tiny one. I have that too. But dude, Mineta is the stereotypical like character made to be hated. He is the only thing about My Hero Academia I would change. Because in my eyes, Mineta represents the fandom. And how degenerate some of the My Hero fandom can be. And that's the way in my mind, that's how it actually goes. What's up, Loud Boys? How we doing, man? I think he is the one thing, if I could remove anything out of My Hero Academia, including obviously not from the fandom standpoint, from the actual series, Mineta is the one thing I could remove from that series that would never hurt the series by being gone. He would never, nothing would be lost if him going away. Hey, yeah, I'm trying to do something a little bit more with the chat windows. Unfortunately, in the browser window, I didn't set it up right, so I got to kind of go back in there and reconfigure it. But yeah, so when we got our browser up, we're talking about stuff. Chat's not going to pop up, but again, we'll get it fixed for next week. But but yeah, diaper baby over here is that character that in like I said, in my opinion, is the reflection of a lot of the fandom in My Hero. And people hate the fans of My Hero more than the anime. With My Hero, it's usually the fandom gets hate on more than the actual show does, or the anime, or the manga. So I feel to me, Mineta is the equivalent of the fan base that people cannot stand. And it's just funny how it's literally he is a mirror, like holding up the mirror to the degenerate part of the fan base and the part of the fan base that people kind of want to be disassociated with. So it is a funny parallel that I always kind of link together. Mineta just is the degenerate part of the fandom, and he's the reflection of that. I don't know the whole lore behind him. I feel like he is literally, like I said, diaper baby. I don't know how he managed to get into UA. I would love to know the actual story of how he got into UA because man, or 1A even because there are so many other characters that we meet in the series that should be in class 1A and they're not because we got freaking this guy in there. So yeah, I think again he is the comic relief character. He's there to show up, do a pervy thing, say a stupid thing, and exactly that thumbs up, like. But I think he fit very well with Maureen over here because she's in her naughty undies and he's looking up there. So he fit. I put Maureen with him fit, and funny enough, that Maureen usually gets flagged for adult content, right? When I post her on TikTok. But posting her with pervy Mineta right here snuck her through all the little censorship things. So it was very, very funny how that worked. I don't know. Maybe I just got to start when I put my waifus up. I got to put a little pervy Mineta with them. But yeah, he is the hated character. He is the character that does not add or hold any value to my hero. He has a couple moments, but any other character could literally take those moments and shine. So yeah, he does get a lot of views when I post him. So somebody out there likes him, I don't know, but yeah, he's not one of my favorites at all. What do you guys think? What do you guys think of Midnight? I like could am I wrong? Could we like do without him in the series? Like I don't know. I just think that like he's the character you could like I said remove 100%. Dude is trash. Yeah, he is. He is. And I don't know if he's supposed to be a character that like harkens back to like, you know, older school stuff that literally was just in your face pervy, maybe someone I heard someone say he's supposed to be kind of like a Master Roshi character where he's just this perv and it's like yeah, but he doesn't serve a purpose. And I mean, I'm not a DBZ guy, but from what I've seen of Dragon Ball Z and tolerated, in Dragon Ball, Master Roshi actually served a purpose other than being the perv. But I've heard that kind of comparison before, and I'm like, no, no. He can't be removed from Dragon Ball. Mineta could be removed from My Hero. You could delete every aspect of him out of the anime and the manga, and it would make no difference. And I can't really say that for a lot of the other characters. So, let's see. Haven't watched it. Have not watched it. Didn't even do season one, so I haven't seen any trailers for season two. Um, let's see. Where were we? I don't even know who came next this week. Oh, another one I love actually. So yeah, third up, another one of the kind of unsung dudes that should have gotten a lot more credit and didn't. Of course, it was my boy Tetsu, and AKA Real Steel. So this one here is another of the Amazing Heroes line where they finally started adding some different characters in. They started putting them in more dynamic poses, whereas the Age of Heroes figures were just kind of static standing poses. This one was cool because again, it was our first Tetsu Tetsu figure, and I think maybe there might be one other figure after this, but we still haven't gotten much of Class 1B, which I think a lot of these characters did deserve to shine. Um, and like I said, with Red Riot and things like that, he makes such an awesome duo with Red Riot. And I think pairing them up together and having them just butt heads but kind of be bros just works. And the Amazing Heroes Red Riot in this series actually is doing a very similar pose to this. So you can actually put them next to each other and they're kind of in like battle poses. It looks really, really cool. I do not have that Red Riot in arm's reach though. I don't know where he is. I think he's upstairs. But he's kind of doing like a pose, like he's doing like a defensive pose. So if you can kind of put him head to head, it looks like he's doing attack and he's doing defense. It's really, really cool. But if you are a Tetsu Tetsu fan, obviously this is a no-brainer for you. It came out good. I mean, it's a Bam Presto basic level prize figure, so it's got the black base to it. We all know they suck, but yeah, you can't win. We're never gonna win, and we're never gonna get out of the PVC like plain black bases. I get people sending me videos of him all the time. One of the guys that I kind of have a love hate viewing relationship with. Won't say who it is, but people send me his videos all the time. Like, oh my god, this guy gets custom bases made for his figures all the time. I'm like, yep. And he also makes a crap ton of money doing these figure things. So yes, he can afford to do that. He gets a bunch of stuff sent to him for free because he's a huge content creator. If I was getting stuff sent to me for free, by all means, I would take all the custom bases, guys. But for right now, I'm small potatoes, so I'm gonna take what comes with the figure. I would love to replace all the figure bases because they are trash. But maybe someday I'll get a 3D printer and just start making my own. But yeah, the Tetsu Tetsu he's freaking awesome, and I'm trying to see if there was another one. I think he still might be the only figure out there. And they did remake him with like a more shiny kind of fist. He had a more metallic tone to him. But yeah, other than that, and maybe a Funko Pop and the little tiny World Coliseum figure, that's all we got for him. So it's a little bit of a bummer. But again, there are so many characters in My Hero Academia that I think need to have more figures, but the ones that sell the most are the ones they're gonna make. So you're gonna get 9 million Dekus, 9 million Bakugos, 9 million Todorokis, Dabis, Togas, because it's the merch that sells. It's guaranteed sales. You know, Oh, we're gonna talk about anime awards after we go through the figures, Lawboy. That's gonna be topic number one. We're gonna get into that because I got some things to say. I got some things I want to say about the anime awards, and you know, some things I was all right with, some things I was kind of like, what? So we'll definitely put a pin in that. We're gonna talk about anime awards once we get through all these figures today. I'm gonna try to fire through these figures because we got a lot of stuff we can talk about today. 100%. So definitely keep that thought. We're gonna go over all the winners and stuff today. So definitely gonna do that. Um, talking about something that I was surprised about. This duo of Lemillion and Erie. Strangely enough, usually performs insanely well when I show this little pairing on the channel. And this time was the least performing on the channel. And to me, that's wild. So this is the Age of Heroes Lemillion, obviously, But I have him. I always pair him up with the World Coliseum figure, little minifigure of Erie, because I think they size together pretty damn good. It's not perfect, but it is pretty damn spot on. It's so close. She needs to be a little bit taller, and it would be perfect. But I think the way he's kind of standing in like the heroic pose, and she's just sitting there nervous, the pair up together so freaking well. And I always tell people ask where I got this. Oh my God, where'd you get this figure? It is not a custom or anything like that. It is just two different figures. I have her sitting on top of his base, and that's really all there is to it. There are a few different Lemillion figures, and even this one itself has gotten a second printing where he's more metallic. Not a fan of the metallic because it's not the way his costume looks, but there is the second printing of it where he has kind of like metallic-y looking numbers, and his cape is a more like shiny kind of maroon to it. Not much of a fan, but this original version I think is absolutely awesome. And you can pick this thing up for probably like $11 now. It's so cheap. He barely cost anything, and it's such a freaking awesome figure. Again, nothing really dynamic about it, but when you pair him up with the Erie, it just adds that little bit of something to it. So normally I'm not a fan of the static poses. I love my figures to look dynamic, but in this case, when you do have that figure paired up with them, it's just that is it. That is it. It is such a game changer to just add that little Erie onto that base, man. It just makes the whole figure just stand out so much more. But Lemillion is the boy. He is probably, I gotta say, he's probably in my top three My Hero Academia guys. So obviously, it's a damn close tie between. It's a close one between him and Bakugo, in my opinion. But it is very, 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 very close. I think if he would have gotten more screen time, I would probably have had, even better time with him. So I would love to see a kind of a prequel of, the big three and their early years in school. But hey, maybe we'll get it, maybe we won't. But I know our girl Erie is getting a spin-off episode as well. That's coming, I think, in July, I think they say. I think we talked about it before. When is that going to come out? It's called I'm a Hero 2, right? Yeah, and it's going to come out. Did they announce when? The actual date? They gave an estimated date, but they didn't like confirm. They just said later, and it's going to have a 25-minute runtime. So we haven't got a definitive answer yet, but I'm looking forward to more My Hero Academia, right? More of the pro or the epilogue series and things like that. All right, August 3rd, it's going to come out in Japan. Okay, so they did announce an actual date in Japan. So August 3rd, it's going to come out in Japan, and I'm probably going to watch it dubbed or subbed, and then I'll probably rewatch it again dubbed. Very, 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 very big My Hero fan. And again, as far as this goes, man, again, if you could pick up this Lemillion for under $15 probably nowadays, and the Erie, oof, Erie stuff goes for quite a pretty penny. Um, let's see. Let's see what she's going for here. The little Erie World Coliseum figure goes for not bad actually. She starts at around $20 and goes all the way up to $50. But it might be worth it, especially if you save money on the Lemillion. So, it's kind of up to what you guys end up spending. But we got My Hero Ultra Rumble game trailer tomorrow. Isn't My Hero Ultra Rumble already out? Isn't that? I thought that was already out. Isn't that the online game that came out like? Oh, what did it like 4 years ago did it come out? Or is there another one? My Hero Ultra Rumble. Yeah, that's the Battle Royale. It's still what? That's still going? Holy crap. Wow. Dude, I had no idea that game was still going. I think my daughter and I played that when it was in beta and it first came out, and I was like, "Oh yeah, cool. Neat online beat 'em up My Hero game." Okay. And we never played it again. I didn't know it was still even a thing. Holy crap, an update. Wow. All right, well, I guess enough people are playing it to put an update out. Holy crap. Damn. Yeah, I didn't know. I didn't know this. Like I said, I didn't know it was still even a game. Holy crap, man. Good for them. I mean, I never thought people actually played it. I literally until you just mentioned it, I forgot all about that. Like it was one of those things I installed, we played it for a little, I was like, oh, this is fun, and then we just went, yeah, move on to next game. Much like a lot of other online only games, you kind of play it, you go, okay, next please. You know. Speaking of next please, let's get through these last two because the last one was a doozy, guys, and it hit me right here in the feels. So the Mirio and Eri hit me in the feels for another way, but this right here, the dynamic duo of Toga and Ochako in their break time figures is such a beautiful duo of figures, and they actually fit together really, really well. Um, Dude, hopefully you guys don't hear my chair creaking. Um, um, these two figures are very, 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 cheap, lower end prize figures in the Break Time series, obviously. But the two of them sitting together actually looks really, really good. And in my head canon, it's the what if. I have them seated right here, like how they're kind of facing each other, like they're having their chat. It's kind of in my head. I have them on the shelf as if the what if they got to have their chat, you know, and it makes you think. We I had this discussion before, people, if they had their chat that they wanted to have about romance and about love, if they had that time and they were able to do it, do you think that Ochako could have pulled Toga back from the edge? Do we think she could have? And I think in my theory is if the conversation happened before Twice was killed, 100% we could have seen a face turn, a hero turn for Toga. Now, could does Toga's power really fit with a hero thing? Not really, but there are ways to make it work, right? They could have had their engineers develop a way where she could have the plasma vials from characters that'll, oh, like, we're going to donate plasma or whatever. You could donate your blood to the character, right? They could still make it, they could have made her work as a hero. And I do think that prior to Twice dying, Ochako probably could have pulled her back from the brink there. But once that turning point happened is where we did see Toga snap. And so again, in my head canon, in my, not to sound like a My Hero shipper because I'm not going that way with it, but in an alternate reality and a little split off there, I do think that Ochako could have pulled her back from the edge and pulled her off the ledge before just kind of falling off and going full villain. Now, would the killing of Twice later on kind of had her snap back into villain mode, absolutely. And I think that even could have been a more interesting thing to where we had Oravity kind of coax her coax her over to the UA side of things, right? And then we have Hawks kill twice. And then we see the immediate fall off of Toga. And we see her run rampant against the kids inside of the excuse me, of the dorms. I think that could have been a really cool what if or an alternate kind of take on things. I think it would have been really, really cool. But yeah, I think there was so much potential, and just the dynamic of the characters was so good. And Toga was, I mean, you know, without sounding weird, like she out of everybody, I mean, a lot of the villains had very tragic stories, right? Our League of Villains people had tragic stories. And I think Toga was, she really, at the end of the day, she was the most, I think she was the most traumatized out of all of them. And I mean, damn, Shigaraki and Dabi both had it bad too. I mean, that's the thing is the League of Villains was that island of misfit toys that found each other, right? And that's the other thing is you find that, and I think that's another thing that the fandom gravitates to as well is you do get a lot of people who are kind of in that misfit toy kind of mindset, right? And you can gravitate to that. You can gravitate towards any one of these characters, these broken characters, if you've ever felt that way. And it really is great how they tell the stories. But I like to have the different dynamic here where it's like, hey, they were friends, they were friends, they had their chat, and then I've also got my other ones that are in the box over there that I don't wanna. Oh man. I feel like if I open them it makes it real. It makes it legit. But I do have the Toga death sequence Ichiban Kuji figures in the box over there in the hall box. So we're gonna have to open those eventually. But yeah, those were the duo that finished off the My Hero Week. So that was it for all the figures. Now, what I always do, obviously, at the end of this is I give you guys the rundown of all the figures that we talked about, give you guys my favorite of the higher end stuff, my favorite of the lower end stuff. And if you guys want to have a little engagement here, drop your favorites down as well. So we're gonna go through and we're gonna rip through some of the figures that we highlighted this week. So we started off the week, obviously, with the child duo of Deku and Bakugo from the Ichiban Kuji series. Obviously, these were very, very cheap figures when they first came out and have since almost multiplied by 10 in their pricing. So they have skyrocketed, guys. If you can find these for a decent price, mind you, these were like 20 bucks a piece at retail. If you can find this set for 60 bucks, right? Please don't pay more than 60 bucks to people for this one. Don't pay 200 for this, guys. But if you can find it hovering in that $60 range, jump on it because they are freaking awesome. I adore these figures, guys, and everybody always asks 1,000 questions about them when I post them. So if you can grab these and you can get your hands on them, again, do not pay $100 or more for them. People are just trying to rip you off. If you can get them for 60 bucks, I'd say that's paying a little bit over, but within reason. So love these guys. Highly recommend them if you can find them. Of course, we went over here to Pervy Mineta, Pervy Grape Juice, doing what he does best, upskirting a girl. And of course, in this case, it is my girl, Marin Kitagawa, in her school uniform from Sega. And, again, like I said earlier, this was the one time that Marin's upskirt did not get flagged on the channel. And it must be because, again, the pervert right here is looking up it, giving a thumbs up. So I don't know. From now on, we're gonna have to put him in with all the bunny girls, all the figures that get flagged and throttled because apparently if you pair Mineta up with a naughty picture of a girl, um it's fine. So yeah, we'll probably do that. Yeah, it's funny. Maureen always gets flagged. That Maureen figure in particular always gets flagged. Even if I don't do an upskirt for her, she usually gets flagged. So it's wild that just putting her there with freaking Pervy Mineta bypassed all the flagging. She didn't get an adult content flag on TikTok. Didn't get did pretty well on YouTube. On Instagram, it did very, very good. So like I guess I just gotta pair Pervy Mineta with every girl figure I post now because it he makes him slip by. Maybe because he looks like a kid. I don't know. But yeah, it does it and it did it and it worked. So oh, I know that one. I know that one too. And then, of course, we went to our boy Real Steel, aka Tetsu, with one that I love. Again, I love Red Riot. I love Tetsu. Him and Kirishima are such an awesome duo together. And again, I wish we could have gotten more of them. I think in the My Hero Academia team up manga series, I think we do get more of them, but I have not read that yet. I have to get it. If anyone's seen it, let me know if it's any good because it is one I wanna pick up because again more My Hero is good for me. So maybe we'll get a series. Who knows? But again, this Red Riot, yeah, this Tetsu again. He is the only Tetsu that we've got right now. So obviously, I'm gonna recommend him. Let's see. Of course, one I always recommend, guys. I set it up. The Lemillion Age of Heroes paired up with the Erie World Coliseum figure is such an awesome duo. I absolutely adore it. I think he has, again, as much as I liked how Deku turned out in the final series, at the end of the day, I did like Deku's story. I used to hate Deku with a passion at the beginning of the series. And when we met Lemillion, I raged and I said, why the hell did he not inherit All Might's power? And I raged and I was like, F Deku. I can't freaking stand Deku. Mirio should have gotten the power. I hated Deku. But I gotta say, the turn that his character did, the arc his character had, and then Deku's continued advancement and Deku's advancement in this arc, they worked. And I think the way they did Lemillion with his arc and the Erie side story and all that stuff, it definitely did good for both the characters. And I mean, obviously, we saw he ends up being the number one hero. So, hey, it's a win-win. But again, I love this Lemillion. I got rid of every other one of my Age of Heroes figures, but this one, just because I love the way he pairs up with the little Erie. Again, I'm not a fan of the static pose ones. I had them all. I think I sold them all to somebody for $5 a figure because I was just like, they're plain, they're boring, get them out of here. But this Lemillion, I will not get rid of just because of how perfectly he fits with that little Erie. And I adore it. If you guys can get this duo, again, the Lemillion you can probably get for 10 to $12. The Erie, you're gonna probably be spending about $20 for her. So for the price of a regular prize figure now, they go for about 30, 35. You can get and kind of create your own little figure. It's really, really cool, and I highly, highly recommend it. And then of course, we finished off the week. Oh, still tugs at my heart, guys. With the duo of the Break Time Aravity and Himiko Toga by Bam Presto. And man, they're right there. The heartbreak right there, guys. That just sums it all up right there. This duo actually fits together amazingly well. As with a lot of the break time figures, I know we have the break time Rimuru and Veldora that actually literally have swap out parts to fit together. But I think The only thing that could have made this even better was if maybe we had a swap out arm for Ochako where it was going around the toga. Dude, if I could get someone to 3D print me an arm that I could replace, I would buy another one of these. I would snap the arm off. I would glue another arm on it, and I would have the arm around Toga like they were just besties having a chat, man. Because like I said, it is the ultimate what if. You know, Toga's sitting there, she's happy, she's smiling, and Aravity's just sitting there listening, like she's just enjoying the company, and it just they work together so freaking well. So if you guys are looking for a very affordable duo of Toga and Aravity, this is my solution for you guys. Get yourselves the Break Time series figures. Let me look them up right now. Don't think they are very expensive. I think they are actually pretty cheap still. Let's see. I will look over here. I'll look on this. Let's see. We had the boys, and then I think we had Froppy in the mix too. So we had Deku, Bakugo, Todoroki, Kirishima, we had Kaminari, we had Froppy, Aravity, and we had Toga. So all those, I don't really need all of them, but the Toga one still goes for around 20 bucks. The Aravity one hovers at around $22. And you're looking at around, if you want to put Froppy in there with them as a trio, you're looking at about $20 to $25 for that as well. So they are still priced very, very standard price. So if you're looking for, again, a cheap duo, because I know the other Toga or Gravity figures are very, 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 very expensive. Like I said, the Ichiban Kuji ones and the upcoming Kotobukiya Artifacts one, which is insane. Wow, it's insane. It literally shows it's got Gravity sitting there kind of doing the float, and Toga's behind her with all the Twice clones coming up. Oh, let me see if I can pull up a picture because the words don't do it justice. Oh man, let's see if I can find it because it is it is gorgeous. It is chef's kiss. It's so freaking good. And for some reason, the only picture I can find is the one of the Ichiban Kuji one, which is weird. Here it is, right here. Do we have a zoomed out picture of it though? Try to see if I can find a zoomed out picture of it because it is so freaking cool. All right, I think I found it. Let's see. I think we got it right here. Yeah, this thing is. See if I can share this. This thing is so freaking rad. This is just one picture of it, but I chose to go to the angled picture just because you can get a look and you can see like the twice, all the different twices are coming up out of the base there, and you can see still the twice, like almost like a symbiote coming off of Toga, and she's kind of revealing her true self and going over Aravity. This is absolutely freaking gorgeous. And it is very, very expensive. I think they go for about 250 bucks. So again, if you're looking for a cheap alternative, a more affordable alternative, obviously the break time figures are going to be kind of the ones to go for. What do we got? The Max Factory My Dress Up 1/7. Do I have that one? I have. Let me see. I'm not sure. Which one is it? Is it the one where she's got her? Is that the one where she's in her bathing suit, or is it the one where she's in her school uniform? Are you talking about the one where she's in her school uniform still? Is that the one? The 1/7 scale, I should say. Because I have a couple of scale Marines I still haven't opened yet. Trying to look up, see what you're thinking of here. The uniform version. That's really not a not safe for work one. I mean, it's almost like the one I showed. The was it this one? No, this one. It's almost like a bigger version of this one that I have right here. It's not very drastic, right? It's kind of like a larger scale version of that, right? Not Minetta, but of the other one there, right? Of the Marin that's with him. So I don't think she's that bad. I thought you were talking about some other ones, like the one where she's in the bikini and she's kind of got her legs open and things like that. Because there's some there's some naughty Marines out there, and there's definitely some ones that aren't safe for work. Yeah, okay, yeah, no, she's not that bad. She's not that bad. When are you gonna review that one? Yo, I know JT's not in here. JT's usually the one asking all the stuff like that, but yeah, I do have to get around to it. Again, there's a lot of more expensive like scale stuff that I have to unbox. I still have the Chainsaw Man Power Buy Cute Bunny that I have to unbox. She's the last bunny that I have to unbox. I've got the Kotobukiya Power. I've got the Fig Arts Zero Power. I've got the big Spirit Tail Toga and Aravity, those really nice big huge ones. I have those. I've got the Glam Rock Miku. I still haven't unboxed yet. I've got so many bigger, like higher end figures that I still have to unbox. And then again, the shipment boxes I have over here have a bunch of Ichiban Kuji figures that are higher up, like the Toga Aravity Death Scene one, um, things like that. So yeah, I have a lot of bigger figures I still have to do, and I just again have to find the time to shoot the videos and edit the videos and things like that. But hopefully I will I'll catch up some year. And by then I'll be, big giant gray Fu Manchu beard and uh looking like 100-year-old man with a walker, and I'll be sitting here still trying to review figures from 15 years ago, but hey, it's all right. It's all right. Eventually, eventually I'll catch up, but yeah, it's just it's very time consuming. Um, oh, you have a lot of like more adult themed ones, right? Yeah. I don't have a lot of those. I got rid of a lot. I had a couple back when I started collecting that were like the tops could be removed and things like that. I got rid of all those. I think I have two left, and they're from Ikitosen. So those figures like that are hard to come by, so I kept those. But all right. Let me see here. What was my favorite figure this week? I think obviously, technically the higher end stuff is the only ones that are Ichiban figures, even though they weren't expensive. I gotta give obviously the higher end stuff to Deku Bakugo. And if I had to be honest, they're my favorites for the entire week. Um, and as far as the lower end stuff, I gotta give it probably to the duo of Lemillion and Erie. I know it's cheating because it's two figures and two figures, but I gotta give it to this. Even though he is the most basic bitch prize figure, posing and everything else you can get, adding that little Airy to him just puts it to a whole like another level, and it just adds so much to it for something so simple. If I was to take Erie out of that equation and just be Lemillion off of Lemillion, Lemillion would not be my pick of the week. Honestly, it would probably be the Toga here from the Break Time series. But those are, I think, my favorites. I don't know. I mean, what was your guys' thoughts? Like, what do you guys think? And obviously, you guys watch it in the VODs afterwards. Drop your comments on what your favorites was. Go to hell! You go to hell right now for saying grape juice. I know you're not serious and you're just trolling me, but seriously, go to hell. Don't even say that grape juice was the best. Shut the hell up. Go back to work, dude. Stop. You're coming in here and trolling me, man. Yo, you're doing that on purpose. No, I will not accept that grape juice is the best one this week. No, I will not accept that. Like, just stop right now. No. But yeah, thanks for that one. Thanks for ruining my whole mood, man. Oh man. So I did actually do. No, you can't be agreeing with him all boy, dude. You're killing me. You guys, you guys can't really be serious, right? You're not serious. Oh god. What does that say? Like Maureen's panties win? Okay. All right, I'll accept that. I'll accept it's a win right there. I will take that. Yeah, shout out, Ant. That was oh dude, I got tears coming now. Oh, I wasn't expecting that. Okay, so grape juice wins by default because of Maureen's upskirt. Okay, I'll I'll call that a win. I'll call that I'll call it for the Ichi stuff. Oh, I love it. I love it. So yeah, I did oh god. Speaking of, since it was my hero week, let's get off of oh god, let's get off of grape juice now and Maureen's panties. They're red by the way. Uh, one of my girls is a huge Maureen Kitagawa fan. And she has an insane collection of My Dress Up Darling stuff. She's obsessed. She cosplays as her, like everything. And it's funny because one night I know I'm calling her out. I'm gonna have to tag her in this so she knows I was talking about her. But one night she was talking to me while I was at work, and she started sending me pictures. So speaking of Maureen's panties winning, uh, she started sending me all these upskirt pictures of all of her Maureen figures. Going, I'm a little disappointed by these. They're all pretty plain panties, and they were all like white underwear on her Maureen figures. And she's going, I'm a little disappointed by that. So I sent her a picture of this one right here that grape juice is checking out with the red undies, and I went, not mine, and I kind of just told her that, and then she was like, oh my god, I gotta get that one, so she actually went, she bought that one. Yeah, but yeah, it's very funny, especially when you have female friends that are way more into the pervy stuff than you are. It's really really funny because like she'll be like, I don't care what Maureen's wearing, I'm getting it. And yeah, she's a huge Maureen fan, and it's awesome. She keeps me entertained at night. Sometimes when I'm at work, she'll be sending me stuff of like all the new Maureen stuff she got, and I'm like, damn man, like I'm jealous. Like I need a Maureen shrine like that to just sit behind. I think that's what I should do. I should just put all Maureen Kitagawa stuff behind me and just call it that way. And then people can be like, you're weird. Oh my God, you're a pervert. They can just start, lashing out at me all they want. At least right now in this background, I have like all the superhero girls. I've got Miku's, I've got Batman, I've got stuff like that all kind of behind me. It's definitely a good mix. So, no one can really ever call me out and name call me. Well, they do, but yeah, that was a good one. But yeah, speaking of, before we get on to any of the topics I want to talk about today, I want to show you guys real quick because I did do a couple unboxing videos this past week, and I did the Ichiban Kuji Red Riot, which I don't know if it was my title, if it was my thumbnail, what it was, but nobody watched that video. It's a damn shame because again, Red Riot is the GOAT. He's awesome. Um, Very, very small figure. Not your Master Lies size. And I think I'd have to get up to go get him because he's over my other display. But But I did do that. But then the other thing I did do was I did the prize figure face off episode this week was for two of our animal themed girls in My Hero Academia, which of course was Froppy versus Mirko in the Glitter and Glamours line. And man, I have never opened a Glitter and Glamours before. They were my first, and I'm going to tell you right now, I love the line, and I'm going to start buying the Glitter and Glamours line. They're absolutely incredible. So let me show you guys real quick. I'll show you a comparison. So I have the Aravity and Toga right here, and I have the Froppy and Mirko over here. So I'm going to show you guys, give you guys a little peek at what I did review. So if you guys, obviously in the video I just showed, we had Toga and Aravity from the Break Time series, right? We had these two, right? They're kind of handheld for the two of them, right? Basic prize figures, your standard cost for prize figures, right? And obviously, goddamn, they look so cute together. So now you size this up compared to what I just reviewed on my video. So spoiler for the video that I just posted over the weekend. This is the Glitter and Glamours Froppy by herself. Same price figure. Way bigger than the two of these together. So, just so you guys can scale these things out, this is the Glitter and Glamours Froppy, about $25. This is the Break Time Toga and Aravity, about $25 to $30 each. So again, try to scale things and get your most bang for your buck. And then if you really want to go there, like I said, these are my first Glitter and Glamours that I've unboxed, and I am completely sold. I am going to buy every Glitter and Glamours figure that I can because, damn it, these are a huge bang for your buck. Even better, if you want, one that was kind of hard to show on camera. Here is the Mirko in the Glitter and Glamours line, and she just laying down looking all sexy, and it's not gonna, there it goes. It's literally bigger than my hand, right? And again, the two of these actually fit in my hand too. She's bigger than the two of these put together. So again, bang for your buck. You can get two of these very large, I mean, even her underbelly is very well detailed too. You can get two of these Glitter and Glamours for $50 or less. And the same thing with those Break Time figures. But again, get one of these or one of these. I mean, she could fit on top of Mirko. She's small. But definitely ones that I will be getting a massive collection of because I was not expecting them to be this big. So I was very, very happy with them. I'm not going to spoil who my favorite was. You're going to have to go check out the video if you want to know who my pick was. But we did, again, Froppy versus Mirko. So I will be doing other My Hero duos like this as well. I'm going to be doing, let me get up for a minute. Who am I doing? I just want to clear these off my table real quick. I am going to be doing Toga versus Aravity. So I have the school uniform Aravity and the school uniform or her, well, whatever, her standard uniform Toga. I'll be doing those against each other, and then I'm gonna be doing who else? Hatsumi versus Toru, the Invisible Girl. So yeah, we'll be doing those, and I think the version I have of Invisible Girl is the standard version, so it's not the invisible version of her. They have a translucent version coming out, but yeah, those are going to be two of the other face-offs to look forward to coming up. But yeah, so if you guys didn't check out those videos yet, make sure you check out those on the channel. Obviously, like I said, the Red Riot Ichiban Kuji review, really, really liked him. Smaller scale figure than what we're used to, but he fits with the other entry level Ichiban figures, I guess I could say, like the lower price ones. So he's a standard Ichiban Kuji figure, much to the likes of the Age of Heroes, the band series, the Heroes versus Villains line, things like that, which were all smaller Kuji figures, not the Master Lies Extra, the Extra Lies, anything like that. So those are obviously the larger scale ones that you spend a lot more money on. But um, definitely recommend them. So that's it for the figures and the channel news for figures. What can you guys expect this week? Obviously, I'm gonna be doing a haul video. I've got a haul. Obviously, I'm gonna get that massive Big Bad Toy Store pile of loot that's been sitting across that I've shown you guys before. Sitting over there, still waiting to get open, which has got a lot of higher end stuff in it, a lot of expensive Ichiban show figures in it as well. And I do have a mini haul that I'm going to be doing that just everything kind of a whole bunch of pre-orders just all shipped at once from actually Amazon of all places. Because if you guys didn't know, a lot of times Amazon gets figures and they get them for good prices, and they get them a lot sooner than some of these collectible stores online. So I just got um, two My Dress Up Darling Ichiban Kuji figures of Marin. I got a massive All Might Ichiban Kuji figure and a Persona 5 Joker Kuji figure. So, yeah, Amazon lost your items. Damn. I mean, they screw up my orders a lot. I'm not going to lie. Amazon screws up my orders a lot. But, usually they make it right. So I can't really complain. But like I said, with the issues I'm having with Big Bad Toy Store now and their pre-order policies, and I'm not happy with it. I'm just trying to find other avenues to get my figures. All my friends tell me to go on Ami Ami, but their shipping charges are insanity, and you wait 1 to 2 months for things to ship. And if I can find the figure on Amazon, I'll just buy it on Amazon because they don't charge tariff fees, they don't charge extra fees. Once you lock in that pre-order and that price, it stays there. There is no, oh guys, tariffs came in, so we got to up your price of your figure. It's just, this is what you pre-ordered at, this is what you're paying. And if the price drops, you get that too. So, as much as I have a love-hate with Amazon, I gotta say, if you can find the figures on Amazon, lock in a pre-order on Amazon. I did that with a lot of the Jujutsu Kaisen Kuji figures that are coming out soon. So just my 2 cents. I'm going to try and bring up chat in my browser window. So you guys are gonna see me you're gonna see me behind the curtain real quick because I want to put a chat window in our browser when we talk about the Crunchyroll stuff. So you're gonna see a little inception right here. You're gonna see a little behind the curtain. Um, so I'm gonna do a little quick ad here in the browser. We're gonna do a little quick ad because I want to add your guys' chat here. So we're gonna add the chat here in the browser. Give me a minute. There we go. So we're going to just add this in here. So now when we talk about our stuff, you guys can be a part of the chat as well. Because I screwed up on that and I forgot. Okay. So there you go. You guys get to see a little behind the scenes action there. Shout out Meld Studio, man. I think it is one of the most user-friendly things I've ever experienced ever. If you guys are streamers or you're thinking about anything like streaming, Meld Studio is absolutely incredible. As you can see, I just literally added the chat widget, 2 seconds, and that's what it did. So yeah, now when we do our browser stuff, when we talk about articles, the chat will be there as well, so you guys can see the chat still. So shout out Meld Studio. Like I said, I'm not having a problem with it. I absolutely love the software. Way more user friendly than things like OBS and stuff like that. So uh, you know, not sponsored, not sponsored. Just shout it out because I think they are an awesome user friendly development software, streaming software. So, um, now that I got the chat fixed, I got the chat widget done. Let's go talk about some topics. Let's fire through some topics, guys. And the big topic I want to talk about, the big topic. We're gonna talk about little thing that happened over the weekend. No, not the music awards. We're gonna talk about the Crunchyroll Anime Awards. So those of you guys know, I wanted to live stream it, but I think it was live at like 5:30 in the morning. So it didn't happen. Obviously, it was on a holiday weekend. Things were busy. I had my daughter. We were not gonna be able to stream at 5 a.m. And also, um, Sony and things like that, they copyright you for streaming anime stuff. So I didn't want to do a live stream reaction to it and get copyrights and all that stuff. I had no interest in dealing with that. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna talk about it. Yeah, the Japan local time obviously is way different than here, but hopefully the chat works in my browser. Um, but we're gonna just go. We'll go through some of the categories obviously. So we're gonna start with the best new series, right? So obviously we had I think it's Clavantis, I think it's called. We had Gachakuda, we had Sakamoto Days, which I heard they kind of flubbed the series for Netflix. I don't know, I didn't watch it. Um Togepi's Original Sin I did not watch. I heard good things about it. Fragrant Flower Blooms with Dignity, and then The Summer Hikaru Died. These last two ones I know zero about. But of course, Gachiakudo won because it was probably out of all these, I think it was the best written, the best animation, the best fights, the best kind of slapstick kind of comedy it had to it, the art style. I think it all popped really, really well. So I agree with that one 100%. That one got my vote too. Um, I don't know. Did you guys vote for anything on this, or did any of you guys in the chat do any of the voting, or no? What does it say there? Sorry, I gotta hold on. I got an error message. Gotta find it on my phone here. All right, we're good. We're good. Okay. Didn't vote, just laughed at anime of the year. Okay. We'll get to that one. We'll get to that one. Um, so we'll category jump. I don't want to go to anime of the year first. Let's go with so we did best new series. We'll go to best continuing series. Obviously, we all know what won that one, right? But we had it was Dandadan season 2, Kaiju number 8, My Hero final season, One Piece, Solo Leveling, and Spy Family, right? You voted for My Hero and ReZero. Good choices, good choices. Yeah, my camera's a little off right now, but that's okay. Um, so obviously, guys, it's ongoing. It's like Fortnite. To me, One Piece winning ongoing every year is like Fortnite winning every year. Okay, it's best ongoing game because it's yeah because One Piece has been going for 900 years. Okay, and the One Piece fandom is a rabid fan base, which I am not a part of proudly. I do not like One Piece. I say it all the time. I get hate for it all the time. I do not like One Piece, nor have I ever liked One Piece. I detest and despise the art style of One Piece. And I know that is a hot take in the anime community. But if I cannot look at the art style without just going ugh, and wanting to dry heave, I'm not going to get into the series. If I have to watch 800 episodes of filler to watch 200 episodes of story, I don't give a crap about it. I'm sorry, guys. It's a hot take. It pisses people off. I know, and I give zero craps about it. It's my opinion. It's my take. I don't care. And I will die on that hill. I'm not even going to watch the One Piece remake when Netflixes it up. Okay? Don't care. But I did like the live action season 1. Case closed was not on the list for awards. Yeah, there was a couple anime that were missing. Obviously, do I think a season 2 should be considered an ongoing thing? I mean, I guess. My opinion, My Hero Final Season should have won this. But that's my opinion. That got my vote because I think My Hero is one of those consistent shows. They could do 10,000 episodes like One Piece of just filler and trash and garbage and unnecessary power up. They could do that in the My Hero universe, but they kept it pretty tight. That's what I love about the series. Is every episode actually, other than, there's a couple of them that, are a little, kind of just to lighten the mood a little bit episodes. But for the most part, that's where I think My Hero is a lot more consistently a better show. I know One Piece fans are going to come out and attack me for it. One Piece is, again, 800 episodes of filler for 200 episodes of story. My Hero is 150 episodes of series with, 6 or 8 episodes of filler. I would prefer to go through this than go through this. Just again, my take. So that was best continuing series. I'm gonna save film of the year and anime of the year for later. We did best new series. Best original anime. And I heard this was kind of ass. Lazarus. I heard it was not good. I don't know. I didn't watch it. It's an Adult Swim series. I didn't watch it. I don't know much about any of these shows. The thing is Mappa made Lazarus, so I mean, it did have my interest. Um, we had Apocalypse Hotel, Digimon Beat Break, which I don't know how I felt about it yet. Mobile Suit Gundam, whatever you want to pronounce it. I don't know. GQX? I don't know how the hell you pronounce it, guys. More Gundam, more I don't care. The only thing I liked from Gundam was Endless Waltz. I love that. Moonrise from which studio? I don't know anything about. And then Zenshu again from another one from Mappa. So I don't know. Me, I voted for Digimon just because it's the only one I kind of watched. But I did hear a lot about Lazarus. But you're okay. So you're saying it wasn't good? Okay. See, I didn't watch it, so I actually don't know. But again, being a Cartoon Network Mappa thing, it had my interest at Mappa, and it kind of has like a gangster looking vibe to it. So that's what got me a little more interested in it. But so it's something you probably I could probably skip it. Are you saying skip it? Don't bother. All right. So maybe I'll pump the brakes on it and won't watch it. All right. Um, best animation surprised me here, but it only surprised me because again, Demon Slayer wasn't part of this one. Normally, Demon Slayer would sweep this, but since Demon Slayer only makes movies now, I think they kind of axe them from a lot of these award nominations. So we had Dandadan season 2, we had Gachiakuda, we had My Hero Final Season, we had One Piece, which shouldn't be in there because I guess the new animation's really good, but the art style's still ass. Soul Leveling, and then we had Togepi's Original Sin. Um, season 2 is already out. That was what this was. Can't wait for it. It was already out. It's already done. Or do you mean like the second part? Because I think there's another part. Sorry, I'm looking down at chat right now. Um, but yeah, I think there's supposed to be another part to it, right? I think it's split. But as much as people hate on Solo Leveling, right? People hate on Solo Leveling. Um, I think I think Solo Leveling, and people are going to hate me for this one too. I think Solo Leveling right now from the first 2 seasons is better than Demon Slayer in some aspects, but not in all aspects, right? I don't even like Demon Slayer that much. So that's not saying much. But Demon Slayer is the mid series with minimal story that is carried by its flashy animation, right? Solo Leveling is a basic bitch power fantasy series that is carried by its dynamic fights and battles and flashy scenery. Only thing that's different about Solo Leveling is every single character is disposable from the rip. You don't have any time to breathe with these characters, meet these characters, really lean into these characters, and grow attachment to the characters. They show up, have some lines, they're gone. So there's not as much of an impact when everybody gets destroyed as in other series that kind of let it breathe and it lets you kind of meet and learn about these characters, right? But for what it is, a just basic bitch power fantasy about a loser who's crapped on and then gets the ability to just be the freaking boss, right? It does what it sets out to do. Whereas on the flip side, Demon Slayer starts out as a mid basic bitch story and doesn't really progress. You have a main character who continues to be a whiny, simpleton bitch boy. Sorry, guys. I hate Tanjiro. I think he's the most bitch made character in modern anime. Sorry. It used to be Deku, but Deku and Tanjiro were going on the same plane together. They were going right here with each other. And Deku continued to elevate and rise up and evolve as a character, while Tanjiro just continued to be the basic whiny bitch boy, just got a little bit more powerful as the series goes. And that's where I used to compare them to each other. And now they, by the ends of their seasons, are so drastically different because Tanjiro still is a whiny bitch boy, and Deku actually grows a pair of balls and becomes a freaking boss, man. He becomes that character. Um, and I know again, people get pissed off when I say that too, but it's the truth. So, oh well, it's my truth. I'm sticking to it. Okay. So Solo Leveling winning this. I mean, I think actually I voted for either Dandadan or Gachikuta. I forget. Um, I let those all slip past My Hero Academia, but Solo Leveling I can agree with. I think Solo Leveling has some very very sick fight scenes, and it is very satisfying to watch the fight scenes. But again, it is just like Demon Slayer. It's a lot of style and little substance. But again, the difference between Demon Slayer and Solo Leveling is Solo Leveling isn't trying to be this thing above what it is. Where Demon Slayer is. Demon Slayer is trying to be this, oh, look at us. We're this very, you know, edgy, thought provoking, huge overarching story thing. And it really isn't. It's just a basic story of revenge about a crybaby looking for revenge. That's it. Solo Leveling is just a basic bitch story about a dude in a power fantasy. But it doesn't try to ever punch above that. It stays there. You know, just again, just my 2 cents. Um, let's go with best character design. They got my vote, and I'm glad they won. Gashikudo won this one, right? And I'm okay with that. Would I have liked to seen My Dress Up Darling win this because Maureen is best girl? Absolutely. But when you're going between these two, Dandadan and Gachikudo, it's going to be one of these two. I'm so happy that One Piece didn't win this one, and I really thought it was going to. So good job, voters. Good job, voters. You guys came through. Togepi's Original Sin again. I don't know. Pocket Theory Diaries. I heard is really really good. My daughter absolutely adores it. I have not yet watched it, but shout out to Gachikuda winning. I think that is an awesome, awesome series. I really had a good time with it. and it brought me back. It brings me back to the Soul Eater vibes, you know. So I'm very interested to see where it goes, you know. Unfortunately, you know, the creator has been having a lot of issues online with the degenerates and the shippers and the alphabet mafia coming after her, and I feel so bad for these creators nowadays because you have the degenerates that just crawl out of the woodwork and attack you, even though you're getting such praise, you know, and unfortunately the dirtbag people in the fandoms that really probably aren't even fans are the ones that are the most vocal and cause the most problems. And again, she shut down her Twitter, she shut down her social medias, and it is a goddamn shame because this is a weekend she should have been celebrating. Her series won a bunch of praise, it got a bunch of awards, a bunch of accolades, and then she had to go and deactivate her socials because degenerates and shippers and people tell them there's not enough of this race or there's not enough of that race, there's not enough of this gender or of this sexuality. Like, I hate that. And again, it's the Western mentality that ruins all this stuff. Anime has something for everybody. If you want that stuff, there's tons of anime series for you. But unlike Western media and Western animation and Western culture stuff, it doesn't try to be everything for everyone. Anime sticks to its niches and it goes with it. And it appeals to its fans. And it's something that I don't ever want to change in anime. So I feel horrible for Kay, and even I forget his name, the guy who did the graffiti art had to shut down his social medias as well because he defended her and he was getting hate on social media. So again, it's a goddamn shame that this stuff happens to these creators. I mean, Horikoshi dealt with My Hero and the degenerate shippers and people not being happy because Bakugo and Dekugo weren't banging. Like, shut the hell up. Go back in your parents' basement and just leave everyone else alone. Go sit there and write your fan fiction, Go, go. Go whack off the hentai and everything else that you're doing out there and yaoi. Just go, but leave the people alone that love the actual real source material. Go back to your parents' basements, write your fanfics, go into your Reddit groups, stay away from the real fans. I don't care. That's my opinion on it. Leave the anime and the manga for the real fans. You go back to your parents' basements and keep writing your fan fiction. Leave the goddamn creators of this stuff alone. If you guys understood how hard these manga and anime creators work on this stuff, they're not like American animators and Western studios that just churn out garbage all the time and have 8,000 people working on it. These people like give up their health, their well-being to create these things, and they're good. And it's the degenerate shipper trash people that ruin it for everybody. And like I said, I feel so bad for this girl, man. She put out an amazing series, again, winning all these awards, and she just has to disable her social medias because of people ruining the fandom. All right. I'll stop ranting about best character design. We'll go over to best director. Best director was I think it's Akinori Fudasaka. I think that's how you pronounce it. For the Apothecary Diaries season 2. Again, my daughter says I have to watch this one. I gotta find the time to watch it. She loves this series, but it was up against some damn good stuff, man. So, it was up against Dandadan, it was up against Gachiakura, it was up against My Hero. I don't know what that one is, and then Togepi's Original Sin. So it was up against some heavy hitters. So Pocket Theory Diaries pulled through, man, and it won. So congratulations to them, man. That was a surprising win. I actually thought My Hero or Dandadan was gonna walk away with that one, for best directing, because My Hero final season, dude. Oh, that was done so well. But no, shout out to Pocket Theory Dice for winning. Best background art, no surprise. Again, we just talked about it. Gotcha Kuda, like the art style in this series is so good. And the fact that the graffiti art is all done by a graffiti artist, not done by AI or anything like that. Shout out to them for doing it. Like I said, as I said 2 seconds ago, it's a damn shame with all these accolades and awards that both the creator and the graffiti artists that do this had to deal with such nonsense over the weekend. It sucks. Again, I won't get into it again. I just went on that whole tangent, but it was like up against City the Animation, Down Season 2, uh, Kowloon Generic Romance. I don't know what this one is. Apothecary Diaries and The Summer Hikaru Died. Again, I don't know anything about three of these. So I voted for Gachiakuda as well because I think again it was absolutely incredible. So I mean, so far we're pretty damn good. Best romance. I have a very big bone to pick with this one, and it's only because of my favoritism. But the fact that okay, Blue Box I didn't watch. Don season 2 I don't think should be in the romance category. I don't. It should be in comedy, it should be in action, it should be in all those things. I don't think it should fall into the romance. I know there's a romance element into it. I know there is. There's a will they, won't they. I know, but it's the very last thing I think about when I think about this series. So I'm glad it didn't win as much as I loved Dandadan. Um, yeah, Ranma, yes. I was surprised I was in there. Honey Lemon Soda, I've heard good things about, but my big disappointment was right here. My Dress Up Darling didn't win. And to me, that was a big hit for me, man, because with the popularity of the series and the popularity of Marin Kitagawa, I am beyond shocked that it didn't win. Um, I did hear good things about Fragrant Flower. I did. I have not watched it yet. Not sure if I'm going to. But again, I was very bummed that Dress Up Darling didn't win. I think it should have. It 100% should have. Maureen is best girl. Yes, 100%. Right? Is that what that says? Yeah. Maureen is best girl. Yeah, I think so. So I don't agree with that one, but again, I didn't watch all those. Best comedy, I 100%. As much as I didn't want to vote against Midas Up Darling, I had to vote for Dandadan for season 2. Dandadan is absolutely hilarious. It's such a great show. It is just a kick back and kind of just laugh. It brings me back to the OG days of FLCL, Fooly Cooley and XL Saga and just these other just slapsticky, ridiculous, in your face kind of anime series. And as someone who's going through XL Saga with my daughter and showing her it, and she's hooked on it. I think she's already up to like episode 22. Um, it definitely brings back that kind of energy, the ridiculous, over the top kind of just nonsense. And I appreciate the hell out of it for that. It does have a little bit of inappropriate stuff in it for kids, but whatever, it is what it is. My daughter's 13 today, so it's okay. It's okay. But I 100% think it was well deserved. As much as, like I said, much as I love My Dress Up Darling, it's not as much of a comedy as it should have been romance. What else we got? Best action. Another one I was a little surprised won. And Soul Leveling won another one. So I was definitely surprised there. And again, it's the action. The action is awesome in Solo Leveling. While I do think My Hero Final Season outdid almost everything, I think Solo Leveling is probably a very close second place. Just the set pieces and things like that from My Hero Final Season and the fact of how long you've learned about these characters and gotten to know these characters upped all the stakes. Whereas Soul Leveling again is it's Genu and disposable people A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. So it's great action with less impact, whereas My Hero had great action and more impact. So that's where, in my opinion, I think My Hero does go above any of these other ones. But hey, I can't really complain. It was definitely again, for action, definitely a good one. Let's go to Isekai. Yes! ReZero wins it, baby. One of my favorite series. Oh yeah, yeah, I saw that. Well, man, this right here made me happy. ReZero won Best Isekai. Um, I have not watched Campfire Cooking. I didn't watch Bureaucrat the Villainous. I didn't watch Zenshu. I didn't know that was even an isekai. Konosuba, of course, is great, but no, ReZero. And I think this year is going to be Reincarnated as a Slime's win. For the next anime awards, I think Reincarnated as a Slime will take the isekai next year. But very, very happy to see ReZero get some flowers. Awesome, 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 awesome. Um, Drama. I had really no stake in this one. I voted for Pocket Theory Diaries because I didn't watch any of these. And again, a Pocket Theory Diaries is the only one I've heard anything about. I have not heard of any of these other series. I've not heard anything about any of them. So, I mean, I did vote when I voted for Pocket Theory Diaries just because my daughter, again, sings the praises of that show. So, um, shout out to them. They won several awards in this. Um, Best Slice of Life. I disagree with this. People are going to hate me. I disagree with this one wholeheartedly. Um, I'm sorry to say it. Spy Family's kind of, I feel like Spy Family's kind of past its time. I do. Um, I think honestly, Midas Up Darling got robbed again in this one. I think Midas Up Darling is a way more fun slice of life than Spy Family. But again, I didn't watch all of season three of Spy Family. I have, however, read the mangas, but I still think, again, it's my preference to Maureen and Midas Up Darling, especially because we're only going to probably get one more season out of it. I think My Dress Up Darling deserved the W for that one. But you know, if it was going to be anyone else, it's going to have to be Anya and Spy Family. But hey, Spy Family won it. Best main character. This one surprised me. So we got, I think it's Mau Mau from Pocket Theory Diaries. This one surprised me again. Another win for a Pocket Theory Diaries. So it's doing something right. I gotta watch it. I gotta find out what the big deal of it is. But I mean, it beat Midoriya, it beat our boy Deku, it beat Okarun, it beat Rudo, it beat Jinu, and it beat Momo from Dandadan. So damn, that surprised me. Um, because again, Jinu won best action, best animation. But again, it's a great series to watch and shut your brain off to, but it's not a good series as far as, deep storytelling and characters, much like Demon Slayer. Um, Rudo, I think, is probably going to grow on people as Gachiakuda goes further along. Right now, he's not there. Um, Deku, I really thought Deku was going to win this one because again, he in final season there, he takes that hero arc and he goes with it and he becomes that hero. And I think My Hero got less praise because people weren't happy with the ending. People weren't happy how Deku ended up at the end. I think that sucks. But I think that's what hurt Deku. But yeah, Mao Mao, she won for best character, so that's pretty awesome. Best supporting character, my boy Katsuki Bakugo. Let's go! I love it. You gotta love it, man. And I think the funny part about it is both of the main character and the supporting character, I feel like it was a little cheating because Dandadan got two characters in each one of these categories. I think that's a little unfair to some of the other series, right? But then again, Pocket Theory Diaries got two as well. I think this was the best outcome, right? But I also think that we could have picked one character from each series. What is that? Case closed? Yeah, I haven't watched Case Closed. But my boy Bakugo winning best supporting character. Hell yeah. Must protect at all costs character, dude. We all knew who was gonna win this one. Of course, it's Anya Forger. We know if this award is there, it's going to be Anya. We know that. Like there is no one else in any of these anime lists that is going to take this award from Anya. They should just rename this to the Anya Forger Award. Like if Spy Family ends, it should become a legacy award and just rename it to the Anya Forger Award. Because you know what? She's gonna win every freaking time. It is Anya. She is our protect at all cost character, and she is going to win it every single year. We know it. She does have. If we were to put video game characters in it now, we might have to put Diana up against her and see who wins. Because no, our little pragmatic robot companion might be able to give Anya a run for her money. Just saying. Um, Best anime song. Hell yes. And there were some bangers this year, you guys. But this is the one. This is the jam right here. Kenshi just smashed everything with Iris out from Chainsaw Man Reze. And I am so happy he won this award. Honestly, I really thought Waker was going to win because we had the blending of J-pop and K-pop together with Lisa and Felix from Stray Kids coming together. I really thought that was going to pull out the win. But I'm very, very happy that Iris Out got it because, dude, that song just slaps. I mean, everything from you hear it everywhere. People doing the Reze dance, like it's all over the place. It is such a good track, man. Well deserved. At least it got something, right? Best score went to Demon Slayer Infinity Castle. And it's one thing about Demon Slayer is they got great animation, flashy animation, and they do get good music and good scores. I have a lot of their songs on my playlists. Again, it's not even mid-tier anime for me as far as my rankings, but god damn it, it's got some good music and it's got some great animation. So I will give its flowers where they're due. But I do kind of think that the Reze arc had a little bit more dynamic tones to the music. But again, it's it's like seeing Anya show up in a vote. If you see Demon Slayer show up in a vote, it's probably going to win because Demon Slayer is the most basic bitch, normie friendly, easy to follow, paint by numbers. Again, bright, flashy color. It is the TikTok of anime, the Fortnite of anime, easy to digest, easy to get into. And then again, I always hope that people gravitate to other better series after that. But it is a great entry level show to get people into anime. The only problem is the animation on Demon Slayer is so goddamn good that it's going to make other stuff not look as good. So there is a kind of negative to balance out the positive. And that is again one of the only things I say good about Demon Slayer is if the animation wasn't as good as it is, nobody would give a crap about it. Again, the story is the most mid again, basic bitch. Saturday morning cartoons had some deeper storytelling than it. I don't know. Again, it's the flashy colors, it's the bright colors, it's flashy animation that gets a lot of people. It's the anime for TikTok generation. It really is. You don't even need to pay attention. You can just look at the bright colors and go, okay, I'll watch it on mute, and you'll just watch it because there ain't much going on with it. And now we're gonna wait what 8 more years to get the rest of the movies out. It's kind of it's kind of sucks what they're doing with it, but they're gonna keep milking out that Demon Slayer teat as long as they can, man. They're gonna go, oh my god, we can wait another 4 years and people will spend billions of dollars. Our kids are gonna watch Demon Slayer finale, just like One Piece. But it is what it is. I think it was definitely well deserved. They do have good music. I can't take that away from them. Best opening, ending. We'll do opening, we'll sequence, we'll do ending sequence. Opening only because um the movies I guess didn't count for this, but I think, Iris Out probably should have won. But I don't agree with this one as much as I liked On the Way. I again think Rewaker from Solo Leveling should get way more love than it gets. I think it is such a cool thing again, and the blending of the K-pop and the J-pop together coming together just is awesome. It's something we don't get much, and the song just slaps. It's so good. So, but definitely a good second place for me. This was definitely my second place song. What do we got? Best ending sequence. My Hero. So, I think yeah, it's Bump of Chicken, right? Yeah. It was a good tune, but I can't say it's even on like my top three My Hero songs. It's probably more towards the bottom for me, and I think it's called it's I, right? Yeah, it's from Bump of Chicken. But again, most of these, I think I voted for Kawaii Kawaii because I think that song is just so fitting for My Dress Up Darling. It works so well. But again, My Hero, just like with Demon Slayer, always has some great banger music to it. So yeah, I'm not opposed to that. But again, I think My Dress Up Darling got robbed out of every category it was in this year, and I think it's a shame because I love that series. I think it is something that should go. We'll go last two. We'll talk about these a little bit. We're gonna go film of the year. We'll go anime of the year for. Oh wait, we'll go film of the year first because we gotta rant. I gotta talk about this. The depression and the slap to my face, but I knew it was gonna happen. Demon Slayer, the Mid Castle, won again. It made a ton of money because it's in the theaters forever and it's the only way you can watch it. But when you put that thing up against Chainsaw Man, the Reze arc, it is leaps and bounds behind the Chainsaw Man Reze movie. As a movie perspective, from a storytelling perspective, from a pacing perspective, all of it is dog shit. There's my swear of the stream right there. I was saving it for this. Demon Slayer, again, is the easy to digest slop fest that looks nice. And the Infinity Castle movie showed it to us. That movie had such horrible pacing issues to it that it was like slap in the face. Hey, we're gonna just drop some backstory in here right now, and you guys, wait, what? We're in the middle of a fight. It was garbage. The way they edited it, I think it was trash. I couldn't. I tried watching it 3 times. One of my friends, she dragged me to go see it in the theater, and she's like, "I'll pay for you to come see it with me." I went and saw it, and I was just like, "It hasn't changed my mind. It's not good." But again, the flashy colors, the flashy animation, the flashy fight scenes, it brings people out. And it brings them out in droves because you don't even need to pay attention to what's happening as far as the story's going. You just need to look at all the colors. Look at the flashing colors. It's TikTok generation anime. The story takes a backseat I mean, I know not even to put it that way, because they do try to put backstory into the story. Okay, they try to put backstory into it, but they cut it in at these times where you're like, I was just watching this fight, and they just cut in a backstory. And these characters are going to die when you see their backstory. It's kind of like the tell, right? But meanwhile, and we've talked about this on the stream before, you look at the Chainsaw Man movie, you look at the Reze film, that had this slow uptick with like a romance story, right? You were getting to know Reze, you're getting to know these characters. You're seeing Denji form this attachment to it. You're seeing, what are you seeing? You're seeing character development. You're seeing character growth. And then by the time that abrupt shift happens in the Reze movie, you are slapped in the face, but not in the same way as with the Demon Slayer movie. Because it isn't this just abrupt in the middle of a scene thing that happens. It's something that's built up to throughout the film, which is how it should be. If you're breaking this as a film, it should have a beginning, a middle, and an end. It should be treated like a film, not just a long episode of an anime made in between filler episodes. It shouldn't be that way. If you're going to advertise it as a movie, it should be able to stand on its own as a movie. And Demon Slayer Infinity Castle does not do that. It is a long episode of the series, or just a couple episodes of the series, smushed into one and thrown out into the theaters. Whereas Chainsaw Man, the Reze arc, is literally an entire movie. You could watch that not knowing the seasons of Chainsaw Man. You could watch that movie and you could see a satisfying beginning, a middle, and an end. And go, oh my God, I need to watch the rest of this. And I think that's the big difference. And then the only thing is about it is, my chair's creaking, sorry. With Chainsaw Man, obviously you don't have the massive audience that Demon Slayer has. You don't. Okay. But as we've said on stream before, you look at the sales for Demon Slayer Infinity Castle. Yes, it made $600+ million. It outsold Fantastic Four. It outsold Superman. It outdid all these other movies last year. Okay, it did fantastic. Chainsaw Man Reze was in the theaters for like 3 or 4 weeks. It wasn't even in the theaters that long because it got booted out for other stuff. And it broke almost $200 million. And I think it was a $4 million budget. So that was an insane return on a very short window of time. So I give them so much credit. Mappa did so good. And then again, the other thing about Demon Slayer is that's the only thing their studio works on, right? They only do Demon Slayer. And again, it does. Yeah, like Lau just said, it is a slap in the face for it because it's just like, as a movie standpoint, Chainsaw Man did a better movie. It did it better from a film perspective, from a storytelling perspective, from every perspective. And again, when the line hits, when Denji's like, everyone's always out to get my chainsaw heart. What about my heart? Like, you literally feel the pain that kid's going through of just someone that's being used and thrown away. And it's like I said, the Chainsaw Man story might seem simple, but there is so much going on in that story of like loneliness and just desire and wanting friendship and wanting companionship and just wanting to just be loved. It has such a deeper story than you think at surface. And when people actually sit and they watch it, I think they'll realize that. But that's what the Reze story did. It told us a romance story that didn't quite have a happy ending to it, but we got a great story. And that is one of the things that I will say. And again, to compare Demon Slayer to Chainsaw Man, I said we've said this before on this podcast. You look at the impact, not the ticket sales or the financial impact of the movies. You look at the cultural impact or the merchandise impact of each one of these movies. Demon Slayer merch lines the shelves still. I can walk into any Hot Topic, Box Lunch, GameStop, the discount stores like Ollie's and things like that, or a collectible store, and their Demon Slayer sections are chocked full, right? It ain't moving the merch like it used to. You go into these same stores looking for Chainsaw Man stuff, anything with Reze, Power, or Makima sold out, especially with Reze. The Reze movement, the Reze tax, as I called it in another stream, is real. And it still continues on to this day, to right now. Demon Slayer movie sold tickets. Yes, it didn't move any merch needles. It didn't actually continue the zeitgeist and the pop culture zeitgeist. It didn't. No one's out there doing all the crazy things, doing dances, doing celebrations of it. You see all the girls where every girl was dressing up as Reze. Every girl's out there doing the Reze dance. Every girl was out there. Every cosplayer's out there. Everyone's doing the bomb. Everyone's wearing the chokers. Hell, you look at Asa from Baby Monster. She's always rocking the Reze choker, doing the freaking pin pull and throw. Like it has expanded the merchandising, whereas Demon Slayer can't move merchandise anymore. So as a cultural thing, I think the Reze movie did more, sold less tickets, but I think it did more in the collective fandom than the Demon Slayer Infinity Castle did. And I look at it as a more success that way because Infinity Castle, again, yes, it sold a bunch of tickets, made a bunch of money, still in the theaters 100 years later, but nobody really talks about Demon Slayer. Nobody talks about this movie. It never comes up in conversations. No one's going, hey, you remember that part in the Demon Slayer? No one talks about it. You can still actually bring up Chainsaw Man. And people are like, oh my God, the Reze, oh my God, when she revealed, oh my God, and people are still talking about it. So to me, I look at the success as that is it's like, I don't care about the ticket sales. I look at the relevancy and how long it stayed in the zeitgeist right now. Reze movie was in the theater 3 to 4 weeks. People still talking about that movie. People still talk about it. People are still cosplaying Reze. People are still buying all the merch. Chainsaw or Demon Slayer, people aren't buying out the merch anymore. It's all going to discount racks. And I think to me that's a sign. We're seeing less Demon Slayer cosplayers. We're seeing more, again, Reze cosplayers. She became the new it girl over the course of a couple of weeks. And to me, that shows the Chainsaw Man Reze arc moved the needle a lot more than the Demon Slayer Infinity Castle. Sold more tickets, but it didn't move the fandom meter. And at the end of the day, that's where it irritates me that a mid long episode of an anime won out for film of the year over something that was actually an amazing movie that contributed to the overarching story, but also was a great standalone film. So, again, I could compare and contrast these two all day. I could rant and rave about them all day. At the end of the day, my take is Demon Slayer is again still the easy to digest TikTok slop of anime. It is all flash, all style, no substance, and I will continue to think that. I don't know. It's pretty to look at. It's great to turn your brain off and watch, sure, but at the end of the day, it's nothing groundbreaking in storytelling. There's nothing deep about it. It just didn't hit for me. But when you look at Chainsaw Man and you look at the deeper kind of meanings to what Denji and all these just broken characters are dealing with, it's like, yeah, I can get that. So I don't know, just my opinion, but they're both over. Both their mangas ended. So we're gonna get our final arcs for each one of them. And it sucks. So we'll see who the next big thing's gonna be, which will lead us to the final category to anime of the year. Thank God it won. My Hero Academia final season anime of the year. Well deserved to Deku and the crew. I think. Hey, Gigi, what's up? Happy birthday! Everyone, shout out to Gigi. It's Gigi's birthday today. Um, you just missed us talking about some of your shows. Happy birthday! Yes. We're going over the anime awards. My Hero Academia final season wins it, and it is well deserved. I think again, this series will go down over the course of things as one that is going to stand the test of time. I think from a superhero standpoint, which we don't get a lot of, a storytelling standpoint, a hero's journey standpoint, all of these things, characters that you can watch grow over the seasons, all of it hits so damn well. And I think the way Bones animated all this final season was incredible. I think the final battles were amazingly well animated, from the scenes we had, obviously, with Shigaraki and Deku, to the fights with Toga and the Sad Man Parade, from the Dabi with Endeavor and Shoto battles, like even all the little kind of tertiary battles that we got, where everyone kind of had their moment to shine. I can appreciate that this series gave even its minor characters, its supporting characters, all had their moments in the spotlight to do something, right? It didn't forget about all the characters. And I love that. And then we got the ending. We got to do the little time skip. We got to see everybody later on. And then we got this bonus episode that just came out this year, showing you the 8-year time skip and what happened. And I just think, again, sizing up My Hero against all the other big hitters, your One Piece, your Dragon Ball, your Naruto, your Bleach, all these other series, I think My Hero, again, consistency and storytelling, I think My Hero Academia is better than all of those series. And I will die on that hill because it is done so well. It is so tight. It is so concise. It is so to the point, where there is minimal filler in this series as opposed to any of those other ones that I named. Even like Fairy Tail, things like that, all these big series that have been around forever, it does what those don't do. And it gives you a tight, concise, consistent story. And the storytelling always is the front and center. I love it. I adore it. I am sad to see it go. But I think they ended it on a great note. And there is so much more potential for other stuff in this My Hero universe that we could go off of. Again, the amazing Vigilante series. I love the series. Prequel series to My Hero. We see some cameos. We get a little bit more backstory. I love it. I think it's great. We could also do an animated series of the My Hero Team Up manga series. Whole bunch more stuff there. I would love to get more My Hero. I'm very curious as to what Horikoshi's got planned next, but part of me just wants to see him continue to expand on the My Hero universe. I think what he has created there gives me, as a person who never used to read manga growing up. I was an American comic book guy. I was a Marvel guy at heart. I loved my superheroes. I lived and breathed superheroes. And to see the just falling off a cliff of the Western comic industry and the absolute dog crap that we get now of these superhero stories that are just constantly bringing down all of our superheroes that we grew up loving, treating every legacy character like they're trash. They're not good enough anymore. We have to make these new, you know, tick box check characters that are going to be you're going to love this character. We're going to shove it down your throat till you love it. What they've done is they've destroyed the superhero genre. My Hero Academia has kept the superhero genre going, and it made me just more excited about superheroes more than I have been in over a decade. And I think it's going to be one of those series that now that it is over, people are going to go back to that eventually and be like, God damn, that was an amazing run. Because consistently, that series just hits. It had a couple of little missed opportunity episodes, but more than not, that series from storytelling, character development, blending the comedy with the drama, with the action, with the bonds all these characters form, with how attached you get to them. It just hit every single one of those notes. And it's why I will still say to this day, it is one of the best anime series that I have ever seen in over the last decade. And I will die on that hill. I will stand by that until something comes out and just blows me away even more. But I think the worst thing about My Hero Academia is the fandom. And the fandom of My Hero is what ruins the series for a lot of people. Um, and again, it's the same thing like I just talked about with Gacha Kuda. It's the degenerates, the shippers, the fanfic freaking rabid nut jobs that get angry and violent if their ship isn't canon. It's those people, like I said, those people that you go back to your parents' basement, you leave the rest of us fans alone. You leave the creators of these series alone. It's their story. Let them create their story. You go back to mom's, dad's basements. You go sit in your own urine or whatever. You type away your fan fiction. You get your jollies off, and you leave the rest of us alone. Let us all enjoy the series for what the creator made. And that is the one thing I do hate. And like I said, the Gacha Kudis fan base is kind of becoming that way as well. But to me, those aren't the real fans. The real fans are the people who appreciate the story. They love these characters, the way they're made. They don't sit there and go, well, Deku and Bakugo should have been together. They were the romance. And they get all pissed off and they send death threats to the creator. Those aren't fans. Those are people that live perpetually on Reddit and Twitter and write fan fiction and masturbate to themselves. They aren't real fans. They can call themselves real fans, but they're not. And I think they give a bad name to the series. And unfortunately, that's where My Hero falls off because its fan base ruins it for other people. And it sucks. It sucks. But I am happy that My Hero did win Anime of the Year. It is well deserved. It should probably win Anime of the Decade because it is, again, the most consistently on point series that we've had. I mean, I think I could maybe argue that maybe Attack on Titan might be consistently better, but in my opinion, Attack on Titan is just poor man's Code Geass with better animation. You know, hate me all you guys want, but it's just drawn out Code Geass, just not done as well. But yeah, those are my takes on the anime awards. That's what we think about that. Um, damn. Um, yes, they are the best together. I agree. I agree. They are. They are. They are. They are canon, and they are together, and they are the best together. 100%. I shout out to the GG Monstar. So awesome. Gotta agree with the take on My Hero Academia. 100% well said. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Ant. I know, like I said, I know you're busy at work. I appreciate you always popping in here and listening, man. What's up? But yeah, those were kind of my rants and raves about the Anime Awards. Yes, I know we went a little long on that, but that's kind of what we're here for. We're here to, we're here to talk about anime and we're talk about nerd stuff. And I did go longer today, but that's okay because we didn't stream yesterday. So, this episode was supposed to be yesterday with right here, the Gigi Monstar. She was supposed to be with me on stream having this conversation yesterday, but her mom picked her up a little too early yesterday, so we didn't get a chance to do the duo stream. So we will do another one. I guess we could do another topic. There is something I did want to briefly talk about. Um, and that is we can go into some video game stuff. Just was I had two kind of small topics I wanted to talk about in case we had time. And we'll talk about it just because I think it's kind of funny. And I called it a long time ago. But we'll go over to Polygon. We're gonna go over to Polygon for a news story with gaming news. Another game bites the dust. And of course, I'm talking about Destiny 2. So here we go. End of an era for Destiny 2 as Bungie ends development. Announces the game's final live service update. Um, we're not really gonna read this whole article, but basically the battle between light and darkness is officially coming to a close. Destiny 2 developer Bungie announced it will release its final live service update on June 9th and will end active development on the game. Um, every end is a new beginning. The studio confirmed that while Destiny 2 will remain playable just as original Destiny is today, the company is shifting focus towards new games. While our love for Destiny 2 has not changed, it has become clear that after the final shape, we have reached the time for our shared worlds and Destiny to live beyond Destiny 2. Um, Bungie had originally planned on launching an update called Shadow and Order in March of this year that would have been direct follow-up to last year's Star Wars themed Renegades. That would have been followed up by another major expansion called Shattered Cycle and The Alchemist. But in February, Bungie announced that Shadow and Order had been delayed to June. That's now the release date of the game's final update called Monument of Triumph. So they had some stuff planned. And they just went, bro, the numbers aren't there. The people aren't here. Marathon ain't cutting it. Sony up top probably are bitching at them like crazy. We gotta cut it out. So that's what they did. And even right here you can see Sony marks massive loss. Well, maybe we'll jump over to that article next and just segue into that from Bungie to Bungie drama. So yeah, basically, I think one of the big things, again, I always tell people, I don't support live service games. I think live service games they're never guaranteed. They're never even guaranteed the game's gonna finish, right? You're never sure if the game's gonna have that final update to give you that final story piece. You don't ever know. The game could be live today, dead tomorrow. Live today, shut down tomorrow. You never know. And with the amount of live service games and the absolute huge influx of just dog crap that we get thrown at us on a monthly basis, you never know which ones are going to survive. Um, so yeah, my theory here, we're going to see some layoffs coming with Bungie because let's talk about this. Let's jump right over. I can't wait because I love shitting on Marathon. Sony marks massive loss on Bungie as Marathon struggles. I know this is an older article. I know. But it ties in perfectly, right? We did talk about this article previous on the stream. So PlayStation recorded a $565 million loss on its Bungie acquisition this quarter. And dude, that is bad. Um, so obviously, like I said, this does segue perfectly from the Bungie thing. I know this is an older article, but it ties in perfectly. Beginning of the month, we announced that they lost 565 million so far in its Bungie acquisition, and now we get the news here. that Destiny 2 is ending development. So we're gonna put all our eggs into the basket that no one's playing of Marathon. Let's should we do our weekly wellness check on Marathon? I think it's the last game that we have left that we do wellness checks on. Let's check. Let's do a wellness check. Wellness check on it. Yeesh. 6,000 players right now. Still hasn't hit that. Still hasn't hit that 100,000 all-time peak. Yeah. Um. Yeah. This game's done, you guys. I know they're gonna stop Destiny 2. I'm sorry. Let's just put it in perspective here, guys. Let's just yeah, no more Destiny 3 coming. No, they already said that too. Here's my theory, and we're gonna probably see it the end of June. Here's my theory. Sony, here's the headline. Sony announces closure of Bungie Studio for restructuring. That's going to be my theoretical headline we're going to see probably by late July. I don't see, with a $500 million loss right now on the acquisition, I don't see Sony keeping Bungie around. The Bungie that Sony bought is not the Bungie that gave us classic Halo. Much like a lot of these legacy studios that get bought up aren't that anymore. Bethesda is not the old Bethesda it used to be. Obsidian is not the Obsidian it was. BioWare is not the BioWare it was. All these studios that are getting gobbled up by the bigger studios, they're buying up the leftover scraps of these companies and the name. All the talent has already left, right? And so the unfortunate reality is you can't expect an old school Bungie product. When they bought Bungie, I was excited. First thing I said was, give Bungie the Killzone rights or the Resistance rights to have them continue on those games because, man, they can do some first person shooters. And then we got Destiny, and I was just like, it's just online Halo. That's all it is. It's just generic Halo, and they kept going with Destiny and just beating this online live service dead horse. And you can only beat that dead horse for so long before people jump ship. I mean, look how many other games we had. Arc Raiders, all these other games. Even Arc Raiders is falling off lately from what I hear. So persistent online only games, live service games, they don't last. And if you're dumping all that time into them, it sucks. But I feel that with this headline, with Sony, announcing they've lost all this money on Bungie's acquisition, Bungie axing all this DLC plans and these updates to now just making it one final update and then the game's done. And then they also said there is no Destiny 3 coming. I think the writing is on the wall for Bungie. I think we're gonna see again by the end of July. We'll double back in July and see if it does happen. But I'm thinking maybe end of July, early August, we're gonna see Sony announce the closure of Bungie Studios or the restructuring of Bungie. We're already seeing layoffs. So uh, I think the writing's on the wall for another studio to get shuttered. My opinion, Sony closed the wrong studio when they got rid of Bluepoint because we could have just kept going off remakes. But keeping Bungie going after making freaking Marathon, I mean, they're gonna try to get their money back, but no one's playing Marathon. No one's buying Marathon. I just, and I'm sorry. I know. I know my whole tone has like kind of just dropped down. Like I literally just got like a depression mode. I know. I'm sorry. Um it literally just thinking about it got me just sad to see where we are in gaming right now. And it's just like, man, like all these companies that were like up here, all these top tier companies just they're all just shells of their former selves and they're just not doing it anymore. And it's the reality, man. And unfortunately, these studios are taking too much time, too much money to develop these games that not enough people are playing and not enough people are buying. And it's just they're all becoming losses. I think something's got to happen with budgets and turnaround on getting these products out to people. Um, and and having the product be complete is another one of those key things. One of the worst things, and I think it happened with Atlas. I wonder if I can pull up that article. Where did they announce? There was an article that talked about at first, because it's funny because at first Metaphor ReFantazio announced that they got better than expected sales, and now they said Metaphor ReFantazio didn't do enough. It wasn't good enough. Now that they look back at it, um, so it's like I'm trying to find the other article. I can't find it right now, but it was a very fascinating thing to see because Metaphor ReFantazio came out and won all kinds of awards, and it released on PC and it did very very well too. And then Atlas turned around and Sega came around and said, it didn't really do the numbers we thought. And here's the reason why. Because nowadays, so many people, especially with Atlas games, Nipponichi games, excuse me, and a lot of other games that have tons of DLC, a lot of people now wait for the complete editions or the game of the year editions. So your initial sales don't hit. The only thing about Metaphor Ray Fantasio that does suck is it is the complete edition. There was no extra stuff really. So they kind of shot themselves in the foot because people got so used to that. Well, Persona came out and now there's Persona Royal. Persona 3 came out and now there's an expansion for it. People got into the habit of it now and they were expecting more content from Metaphor and it never came. It was a one and done game. Done. And I think that affected the sales because people were like, "Oh, let's get it when the complete edition comes out," and it never happened. And it's a shame because that was a damn good game. Yes, yes, Little Big Planet. Media Molecule did announce they're working on a new game, so I'm excited for that. I wish it was another Little Big Planet, but yeah, I will take anything from them. I think Media Molecule. Thankfully, Sony hasn't shut them down, but they put out consistently awesome games. I'm looking forward to what they're going to put out next. Honestly, I would love just another Sackboy's Big Adventure. I thought that game was incredible. Um, I thought it was very very well done. But let's see. I could bring up another thing too, since we're talking about things that failed. Um, I'm gonna bring it out because this is a series that I adored. Um, we'll talk about this really, really quick. I loved the Spartacus series on Stars. I still say it was one of the best TV shows. I loved the Stars TV shows that came out at that time period. We had Spartacus, we had Black Sails, the pirate show, and we had Da Vinci's Demons about Leonardo da Vinci. Those three shows, absolutely incredible. When when I heard there was another Spartacus series coming out, I was very excited. Um, and unfortunately, it wasn't what I thought. We got the House of Asher, which is basically a what if things happen differently, kind of like an alternate reality. That's not what I wanted. I love Asher. I think he was one of the best villains, best written characters in a show in recent years. Loved his character. But did he need to come back for his own spin-off series? No. I wanted the theorized Caesar series that we were going to get spin-off. Because the series ends, obviously, how Spartacus is led, his whole story ends. And then we go on, we could continue on with Caesar and his reign and his rise. I think that would have been a great show, continuing on having reoccurring characters from the other Spartacus series. I think it would have been great. But instead, we got this. And the problem with this was people were already off the rip screaming DEI, we don't need this nonsense. And honestly, I'm going to say it was justified, um, because Spartacus was all right. Hey, good seeing you, kiddo. Hey, I will talk to you in a little while. I'll call you in a little while. Um, Happy birthday again to the Gigi Monstar again. She turns 13 today. She's getting so old. I hope you get some good stuff going on today. I know I don't have you, but I will see you later on this weekend, surely. Um, but thanks for coming in, and I will see you later. I'll talk to you later, obviously. About talk to you after the stream. But to this, this show was a show we didn't need. And it was our lead character was, of course, you know, the thing that makes everyone just automatically go, okay, it's DEI, it's tick box checking. We had the strong black female lead that was she's the best at everything and she outdoes every man, everything else. And to me, it didn't kill the series for me, right? I was like, okay, I'll give it a chance. Because if you watch Spartacus, Spartacus had some kick ass women in it. It had some baddies, okay? They were all absolutely gorgeous. They were badass. They fought. They were manipulative. Like, they all did these great character traits. And none of them, other than, well, there was one who was insufferable once they changed actresses. One of the characters, they changed her actress and they made her the most insufferable girl boss, annoying character ever. Right? Almost ruined the season. And when she died in the series, I clapped. I celebrated. But that was the problem with this, is we brought back Asher, and he was bringing up not any big jack dudes as the advertisements. It was the strong black female, and they all the advertisements was she's the best at anything. She's gonna surprise everyone. She's gonna beat everyone. She's gonna destroy everyone. She's the best. She's the best. And that's all the advertising kept showing. And the problem when you do that is you push that narrative and you push that at people and they push back and they push away. And that's the problem with modern Western media. And they're pushing up things in your face, right? It's not just, hey, look, here's a badass warrior chick. She's going to be our main character. They have to keep pushing it in your face of how she's the best and she's better than everyone and this and that. And people don't want to be told that. They want to see it and make that conclusion for themselves. They don't want to be continually told how this person is the best. They are the best at everything. This is why you're the best. You are better than everyone. You are the best. They don't want to be told that. And the problem is now we are pushing back against it. And apparently, a lot of people did push back. And this has been now canceled after one season. So we dead again. Stephen DeKnight's Spartacus House of Asher has reportedly been canceled by Stars after just one season. Deadline reports that the alternate timeline spinoff has come to an end after season one concluded with 10 episodes earlier this year. Site sources say the show failed to find viewership necessary to continue, adding that make up the follow-up's audience did not quite align with Star's focus on women and unrepresented audiences. And there's your problem. There's your problem right there. That was your goal. Stars focus on women and underrepresented audiences. There's your biggest problem right there. Spartacus, if you watched Spartacus, that show had something for everyone. I got one of my ex-girlfriends that was not into any of that stuff, obsessed with the show. She was like, I don't really like all the sex stuff. I don't really like it. Man, she watched it. She was hooked. We marathoned all the seasons. That show had something for everyone. It had something for every race, every gender, every sexual orientation. It covered all those bases, and none of it was thrown into your face or shoved down your throat. No pun intended. It was just, this was the show. It's depravity. It's old school. It's hedonistic. It's gladiators. They're screwing everyone. They're doing this with everyone. It doesn't matter. It's all up in the air for everyone. And it did it well. This is Stars' own problem right here to go, well, that wasn't enough to have everyone represented in the show. It needed more. And that is the problem. Stars focus on women and underrepresented audiences. You already had a show that could appeal to everyone. As long as they could mind the nudity and the sex and things like that, it could appeal to everyone. Again, it had every race, every gender, every sexual orientation. It covered every single one of those bases without throwing it in your face and making it be the central focus. It just happened to be part of the story. This guy shows up, he just happened to be gay. This girl shows up, she just happens to be a lesbian. It wasn't their central character focus. And then you go and you're going to shift to this, and that's going to be your focus. That's where you screwed up. You had a series that was so well done. And it did all these things, and it introduced all these characters. And it's like, yo, look at this big jack dude. And then next thing you know, it's, holy crap, that big guy's gay. Like, he's got a little twink guy with him. Didn't matter. No one cared. Everyone loved it. Everyone watched it, and they were like, this is crazy. But it wasn't the character's race or sexuality that was the focal point. Those were their tertiary things. Those were just other characteristics of the characters. Now you want to focus on that. You want to laser on it. And that's where you lost. That's where you lost your original audience. That's where you lost any new audience. Because nobody gives a shit about the pandering. Nobody cares. When are they going to learn that? It's absolutely crazy, and it's so sad because I was so excited when they announced the show and we saw nothing of it. I was like, oh my God, we're getting a show about Asher. Oh my God. And I was so excited. And then when I heard this and I saw this, I was just like, I have no interest in this. Like, and I apparently no one else did either. So, rest in peace to Spartacus again. It's dead again. And it does make me sad that we will never get the stuff we wanted, like the Rome spinoff, the Caesar spinoff, things like that. It sucks. And it's another L for Western media and Western movies and Western content. It just shows where their focus is, especially when you saw that quote from Stars saying, we wanted to focus on underrepresented people and women. In a show that already did a great job with them. I mean, I don't get what more you want. And that's the problem. And it's FAFO, you know. I won't say it, but that's what it is. And eventually maybe these companies will all learn. But that's it for the negative topics. I'm trying to think of a happy topic we could come into. I want to finish off with a happier topic, but while we're talking about happier topics, let's go do a quick rundown of all the figures again for the end of the stream. I will show you guys the figures that we highlighted at the beginning of the stream. So again, this was My Hero Academia week, R.I.P. Toga. We had the duo of Childhood Deku and Bakugo from the Ichiban Show series. Still absolutely awesome. We followed it up with a hated figure with our boy Grape Juice, Pervin on Marin Kitagawa, of course, from the Age of Heroes series. We had the amazing heroes, Tetsu, aka Real Steel. We had the awesome duo of the Age of Heroes Lemillion with the World Coliseum figure of Eerie. And we finished out the week with the adorable duo of the Break Time Toga and Aravity. So we definitely had some awesome My Hero Academia figures. And I know what we can do. We'll do a spoiler for my physical media haul. GameStop had a great pro week last week. I bought a bunch of stuff. And I did. I got some physical games, guys. Buy physical. So I always tell everyone, we'll do a physical media haul. So I got a couple of Switch 1 games. We'll end things again. A happy note, we'll end things on a physical media haul. So spoiler alert for my physical media haul video. Again, GameStop had a great sale. People hate GameStop. Hate them all you want. I love GameStop. I shill for GameStop. I love GameStop. All these games were $15 or less, and it was great. I got Dragon Quest Monsters, The Dark Prince, physical. Boom. I love seeing that. I hate all this empty space. One I didn't actually play, Mario Luigi Brothership. I don't know if this game's any good, but it was like $13 after your pro membership. So I got it. And look, it's sealed. It's still sealed. Shout out GameStop. It's a new sealed game. It's not gutted. Another one I got. This one I actually got used. It was like $11. The Dead Rising Deluxe Remaster Remake. I loved Dead Rising 1. I kind of want to stream this. I'm not going to lie. Mario Luigi Brothership's a good one. All right, awesome. I'll have to check it out. I was really excited about the Dragon Quest Monsters. The other one I got, again, sealed, shockingly enough, was the Metal Gear Solid Collection 1 with the OG Metal Gear games. And it's, unfortunately, you just heard that clunk. It's loose, so I'm a little nervous. But, and then I got another one, speaking of Nippon Ichi and their re-releases and their complete editions and their deluxe editions. Another game I absolutely adore, Phantom Brave. Phantom Brave, The Lost Hero Deluxe Edition. Another remake of Phantom Brave. This is probably the third or fourth time I bought Phantom Brave. I love this game. And again, sealed copy from GameStop. Holy crap. What is this? And then I got this big thing, which I gotta wait for the Gigi Monstar to unbox. So we're gonna do a daddy-daughter unboxing. But I got, you guys know I love my Borderlands. I got the Echo 4 bundle, GameStop exclusive. No, I did not pay $100 for it. This was actually on sale for $35 last week at GameStop. And it comes with, it doesn't even show it, which kind of sucks. It does tell you. It comes with an 8-inch tall light-up statue of the Echo bot, chrome-plated vault symbol necklace with 23-inch stainless steel chain, a 17-inch polyester map, a lithograph set with 4 double-sided art prints, 8x10 lithographs in a portfolio, and it comes with shift codes. It does not come with the game, but I wanted the Echo statue. So for $30, I bid on this. So it'll look really nice on my shelf, on my Borderland shelf with my big Mad Moxie statue and my giant gentleman claptrap. So, guys, buy physical. They can't take your physical media away. They can't license check your physical media. Buy physical, guys. I know people hate buying physical. Support physical. I think if we show companies that we want more physical games, maybe they will go back to more physical games. Just my 2 cents. I think we need to make a shift away from digital after, again, we talked about the topics the last 2 weeks with the digital licensing checks and all that crap going on. I think we need to support buying physical media. And maybe if they start seeing an uptick in our physical sales, they will focus less on digital and more on physical. And, maybe we'll keep some physical stores alive because we need those too. I thought I was going to just sneeze. Sorry. Okay, wait, a false alarm. Wow, my face got really, really red. Holy crap. I really thought that sneeze was coming out, man. Whew. Hell yeah, physical for the win. I just have no room. I do hear that a lot from a lot of people. So I get it. A lot of people nowadays, they live in apartments, they share places with people. You don't have all the space. Don't have all the space for all this stuff. I get that. I have my own house and I still am running out of space. I get that 100%. So, uh, again, I feel it, but I can show the stacks of stuff that are right across from me right now, and it's insane. Yeah, I think eventually the pendulum will shift back to physical. I do, but unfortunately, I think it'll end up being too late. I think most companies are already set in the digital ways. You even look now, Blu-rays are still going, but Blu-rays are insanely priced now. If you pre-order a new release Blu-ray, it's like $40. It's crazy. I pre-ordered the K-pop Demon Hunters Blu-ray, and it's $40 for K-pop Demon Hunters on Blu-ray. The Mario Galaxy movie, I pre-ordered that, $35 on Blu-ray. Dude, Blu-rays used to come out at $20. So I don't know what it is because now they're more niche. They're charging more money and they're realizing, well, we'll sell less, but we'll make more. But yeah, physical is becoming a niche now to where they're just upcharging you because they're gonna sell less, but they're gonna charge you more. And physical media collectors are gonna buy it because that's what we do. We're idiots, but there's no other option. It's buy the physical or piss off. You know, I think I've talked about that before with I'm actually making a clip about that right now with the digital problem with digital is once they heat something off the platform, it's gone. Especially if it's an exclusive show to that platform. The clip I'm doing right now is when we talked about Hulu with Future Man. They yeeted that show off the platform and you can't find it anywhere. It's gone. That's it. Same thing with Disney Plus with Willow. They made a Willow sequel show. Took it off the platform because no one watched it. It's gone. So I always think we need more media preservation, and if it means buying physical to preserve that media, I'm all for it. I will find the space to put my physical games. And that's just the way I look at it. But that's gonna be it, I think, for today, man. We hit the 3 hour mark. We went an hour over today. Made up some time for yesterday's lack of a stream, but hopefully, obviously, again, those who are here in the U.S., hopefully you guys enjoyed your long Memorial Day weekend. I worked the whole weekend, so I didn't get to enjoy a long weekend. But what can we expect from the channel this week? Tomorrow's games, I didn't do it yesterday, is going to be the rest of the Zenless Zone Zero. New update. We're gonna try to get Promia. I don't know if we're gonna get her. I've been getting some pretty bad luck on stream, but we're gonna try to pull Promia. See if we can finish up some of the side quests, finish up the main story arc, see Billy and his new transformation, and the rest of the week, I'm not actually sure what to stream because we beat Pragmata. I don't really have a game specifically lined up, especially not nothing newer. I was thinking maybe doing like Code Vein 2, checking out something like that, or maybe dipping back into some Dead or Alive Volleyball, Dead or Alive Venus Vacation, do a little dating sim, kind of have some fun. But I'm not actually sure. We will see. I also am going to be doing a haul video, and I might do Prize Figure Face Off as a bi-weekly thing and not an every week. Um, so I might forego Prize Figure Face Off this week and do just a regular unboxing. So we'll see how that works out. But I think Prize Figure Face Off has been actually getting some pretty good feedback. So maybe we'll try to do another episode this week. I do have tons of figures over here for Prize Figure Face Off. So it's not like I'm gonna run out anytime soon. But yeah, this week will be, let's see if I can shift the camera. Let's see if I can shift it. This week is gonna be, okay, those gigantic boxes all over there. That's actually two giant boxes on top of each other. That's what's going to be this week. So you're going to get a gigantic pile of loot from Big Bad Toy Store. So it's going to be probably 30 or so figures in those boxes because you couldn't tell, but those boxes were standing up to about here on me. And obviously that was the last haul sitting on top of them. So a lot of stuff I got to go through still. And unfortunately, when you're trying to unbox all your figures for content, it takes a long time. I can't just, unfortunately, I'd love to just rip them all open, but I look at it as it's content for the channel, so I gotta wait and I gotta film a video. So, June game. Do I got some with bunny ears? Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, you mean the ones that were sitting on top? Yeah, yeah, yeah. That was the bunny girl Shion from Sword Art, and then down below I actually had the still in the box I had the bunny girl Reze and Kobane from Chainsaw Man, as well as a whole bunch of other ones. Yeah, those are from the last pile of loot that we did, the last haul that I did. Those were kind of all sitting in front. But yeah, that's gonna be it for today. Like I said, I don't know if you guys have any suggestions of what game to stream. Damn, let me know. Especially like I said, people watching the VOD afterwards, let me know if there's like something you guys think I should jump on and stream because I got so many games I bought, but a lot of them are like older games. So I don't know if people really give a crap about me playing those, but we Pragmata was a blast. I think that's my game of the year right now. Um, I adored that game. I thought it was great, and I highly recommend it to anybody. If you guys want to check out again the streams, I streamed that a bunch of times here on the channel, and it was so damn good. But yeah, I'm not sure what I'm going to stream yet this week, so we'll play it by ear. But that is going to be it for this extra long episode. We went long. We definitely talked about some anime stuff. We talked about some gaming stuff, some good news, some bad news. I did have a couple rants about, Demon Slayer being mid. But yeah, that's going to be it for today, guys. I'm going to cut it here. We're over 3 hours. I need some food. Just running off of caffeine right now. I need something to eat. So I'm going to get me some food. I wanted to come back later on this afternoon to do a gaming stream, but I don't think that's in the cards now. So tomorrow, like I said, 11 a.m. Eastern, same time as always, we're going to be doing the Zenless Zone Zero, finishing up the new content for that. Thursday, Friday, more game streams. Not sure what we're playing yet. And maybe I'll do a poll towards the end of the week as something to start up fresh next week. We'll play a new game. Kind of want to do an RPG on stream because it's been a little while. I haven't done one since Expedition 33. So I'll go through my list of RPGs that I got kind of sitting here. See if there's anything you guys are interested in. We'll play it by ear. And again, there's going to be a new video dropping tomorrow, usual time, around 5 p.m. Eastern. New video dropping Friday, same time, 5 p.m. Eastern as well. And just every day, stay tuned later at night for the clips and things like that, clips, reels, all that good stuff. I'll be continuing to post those. And that's going to be it. So thank you guys so much. Everyone that came in and chatted, all you guys over there. I got the chat widgets working. So, hey, we got more progress. Next will be graphics going all around here. We'll get some graphics kind of liven it up a little bit. Thanks to everyone who comes in and lurks, obviously. You guys, I appreciate you guys as well. Thank you to everyone who actually watches these VODs afterwards. I've been getting good feedback from the VODs. A lot of people have been, again, suggesting the chat widget. Got that done for you guys because this makes it so the people watching the VODs later can interact with and see the chat, what's been going on as well. So it also helps out if you guys are Twitch and YouTube chatting. You guys can interact with each other. So again, progress, not perfection. We'll keep it going. We're going to keep streaming. And that's going to be it. So thank you guys again. Shout out Loud Boys. Good having you in again today. Again, if you got any gaming ideas or any suggestions, make sure you let me know. Talk to you guys later. I'm out for now. Everyone, enjoy the rest of your day. I'm going to go get some food, and I'll see y'all later. Bye, everyone.